There's only 2 games. It's a relatively small sample size. So both guys looking to prove themselves, and who knows, if they're clicking, could see a lot of quick outs, a short game with a low-scoring game. But and on the other hand, could be a chance for the offense to break out.
So we are almost ready to go, but we're going to step aside quickly on the ASU live stream 1. Trey Matthews joined alongside Hayden Weber. We will see you momentarily. Don't go anywhere.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communications Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
And that's the way it is. Monday, September.
Newscasting has changed a lot since the time of Walter Cronkite. That's why here at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism, you can learn the studio production skills of today in real time. Whether you want to work audio, direct, technical direct, design graphics, or you can even run the floor. It's all part of the Television Production and Graphics Lab here at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism. We're going on in 3, 2...
Welcome back to Phoenix Municipal Stadium. We are about ready to get this ball game started. But before we see the players take the field, let's meet the starting lineup. So leading it off for the Anteaters is Joe Oyama, third baseman. Batting second baseman Will Bermudez. Batting third, the right fielder Caden Kendall. Batting fourth, the cleanup hitter, the big man Anthony Martinez. The shortstop batting fifth is Dub Gleed. The designated hitter is Chase Call. Left fielder is Miles Smith. Catcher is Garcia Pacheco. And then center field is Luke Spillane. And looking at the pitching matchup once again for ASU, on the mound is Curtis, the right-handed pitcher.
Yep.
Coming into this matchup, he has a record of 1-1 and an ERA of 5.19, like we said at the top of the broadcast. So he's looking to get that ERA just down a little bit.
Yeah, it's been a tale of 2 starts for Christian Curtis. Had a great first outing, but struggled his last time out. Looking to bounce back.
He has 10 strikeouts of the season, and he has pitched 8 2/3 of innings. Now looking at the defensive linemen for ASU and how they round out. So manning the outfield, you got Crenshaw in left, Jackson in center, Long in right. Then Contreras is the third baseman, Hill shortstop, Keishel second baseman, Tobias first base, and the catcher rounding it out is Campos. So what are you looking for on the defensive side of things? Because you know Hill and Keishel will be looking for some redemption after their errors last night.
Yeah, those are 2 really solid guys manning the middle of the Sun Devil infield. Had some hiccups in the game yesterday, had some easy ground balls where they just picked up their glove too early. And like I said, it's just some uncharacteristically bad mistakes for the Sun Devils. And Willie Bloomquist said, it's tough to do at this level to give up 10 unearned runs, and they did just that. It was an embarrassing performance. Willie Bloomquist said it himself, and it's 4 games in a row now where the Sun Devils have kind of beat themselves. So trying to break that cycle, do their starting pitching some favors by playing good defense behind them.
So speaking of pitching, we saw Teating come in relief, and he was actually able to shut the door momentarily for ASU. He was able to pitch a couple strong innings out of the bullpen. And then we saw ASU regain their momentum. So the name of the game is the same for their starting pitcher in Curtis as he is finishing up his warm-up pitches for right now. So I think for ASU, they want to stay away from their bullpen this time around, especially when you got to play the Anteaters tomorrow afternoon once again on Sunday.
Exactly. And for UCI, they made it a goal to get into the Sun Devil bullpen. Most times that's a good spot for teams to add runs, and UCI was able to tack on several after getting Ross Dunn out of the game. But like you mentioned, Matt Teating did a nice job eating up innings. He pitched 3 2/3 and saved a lot of arms for Willie Bloomquist to use in today's game.
So we're about to get underway here in Phoenix, Arizona. Stepping up to the plate is Joe Oyama, the third baseman. He was able to get a homer in last night's matchup. First pitch on its way from Curtis is called strike, 0-1 to begin the at-bat. First pitch, 1:05 Mountain Time.
Yeah, Oyama's got good tools, a lot of speed, good power. We saw it last night on that long home run to dead center.
Here comes the 0-1 pitch, lofted out into right field. Fairly deep, long camps underneath it, and 2 pitches, 1 out. That's how ASU begins the top half of the first.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how Ethan Long adjusts to playing right field. We know he's got a big arm. He previously played over at the hot corner in last season and his freshman year as well. He has also pitched. So the arm is good, which suits him out there in right field. We'll see if, he's got the footwork down and he's used to tracking those long, high fly balls.
Here comes Will Bermudez, the second baseman for the Anteaters. Takes it for ball number 1, just outside, 1-0 to start the at-bat. Bermudez entering this game has a batting average of .333. Had a productive day at the office in last night's matchup. Grounder over to the second baseman, Keishel. Toss over to Tobias. 2 up, 2 down to begin the top half of the first.
Yep, that's how you draw it up. You're the Sun Devils. Couple quick outs. Not much of a threat mounted by UCI in the first.
Now here comes Caden Kendall. Third batter in this inning for the Anteaters, right fielder. First pitch to him, call the ball, 1-0 to begin his at-bat. So here's the X factor right now for ASU, like you mentioned, Hayden. Try to finish when you have 2 batters out. Pitch just outside, 2-0. Kendall will now be ahead of the count.
Mentioned at the top of this inning is Curtis has had 2 very different starts. Had one in which he worked 5 shutout innings with 6 punch-outs against San Diego State, and then really struggled in Starkville his last time out. Walked 5 batters and gave up 5 runs in fewer than 4 innings of work.
Here comes the 3-0 pitch, called the strike right down Main Street, 3-1 to him now.
And he's got a great fastball. He'll hit mid-90s with it, touch 94, 95. Locates it really well.
The 3-1 pitch on its way to Kendall. He chops it over to short, and that's going to reach left field for a 2-out hit. So here we go. Kendall is able to reach first base safely, and now here comes the cleanup hitter, Anthony Martinez, who had a 2-run jack, like you said at the top of the broadcast, was able to clear the Whiteman Family Performance Center out and right.
It was one of the more impressive home runs I've seen. And just a true freshman as well. You look at the guy, he's very built out. A lot of just natural power. It wasn't like he had a super hard swing, just barreled it. And that ball went about as far as I've seen.
First pitch to Martinez, called a strike, 0-1 to him now.
And I was also very impressed with his approach, very disciplined approach at the plate. I believe he walked twice in that game as well.
Martinez, 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, 0-2 to him now. Curtis is now sitting in the driver's seat. Kendall is the runner at first. He was able to reach on a 2-out single. The 0-2 pitch. Martinez takes it high and outside for ball number 1. 1-2 to his at-bat now. Martinez sets back into the box. The 1-2 pitch on its way to the first baseman. Here comes the pitch. Runner is on his way to second, and Kendall's going to get there safely on the stolen bag. So runner now in scoring position, still 2 batters out, and the count is even to Martinez, 2 apiece.
Nearly a pitch clock violation on that last pitch. 2 seconds left before Curtis ultimately delivered.
We already saw a pitch clock violation in last night's matchup. They could be costly. Grounder over to Keishel. Easy tossed over to Tobias, so UC Irvine is able to have a batter reach second base on the single and stolen base, but nothing doing. We head to the bottom half of the first inning. No score, just underway.
Cronkite News provides students at ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism with the opportunity to gain real-world experience in the newsroom. At Cronkite News, our students produce professional content for audiences by taking on all roles, whether they be reporting, anchoring, producing, or studio production. Each department gives students first-hand professional newsroom experience. For more information, visit cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication's Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Welcome back to Phoenix Municipal Stadium. It is ASU's turn to bat, so let's meet their starting lineup. Leading it off and playing second base is Luke Keishall. Batting second is the left fielder Wyatt Crenshaw. Batting third, the catcher Ryan Campos. The cleanup hitter is the right fielder Ethan Long. Batting fifth, first baseman Jacob Tobias. Shortstop Luke Hill will bat sixth. At center field is Isaiah Jackson. He was able to go deep in last night's matchup. Batting eighth, the designated hitter, number 35, Reese Beheeler. And batting ninth, rounding it all out, the third baseman, New Contreras. So you see Keishall just taking his warm-up swings, almost ready to toss. And now Riley Kelly is the starting pitcher for the Anteaters of UC Irvine. Now, if you look at his numbers, Hayden, that is not a typo. That is not a mistake. His ERA is 33.75, and he has only pitched one-third of an inning with 3 strikeouts to his credit. So he definitely wants to get that down during the course of this game.
Yep, just 2 starts on his young career at UCI. He's a true freshman out of Santa Ana, California. Got roughed up his last time out against UNLV, so definitely looking for a better outing today.
Let's see the defensive alignment for the UC Irvine Anteaters. So Smith, Spillane, and Kendall round out the outfield. Oyama is the third baseman, Gleed at short, Bermudez at second, Martinez at first, and Garcia Pacheco is the catcher calling the signs. So you hear the Rocky theme song, so that can only mean one thing. Luke Keishall is ready to take his first crack at it.
Yeah, Luke Keishall has just been a stalwart at the top of the order in his first season as a Sun Devil. And he's had 1 leadoff home run this year. We know he usually starts the game with an electric at bat.
First pitch to him, outside for ball number 1, 1-0 to begin the bottom half of the first inning for the Sun Devils of Arizona State. The 1-0 pitch on its way to Keishall. He swings and lifts it foul. That's going to reach the spectators on the first base side. 1-1 will even his count.
Keishall is the exact kind of guy you want hitting in the leadoff spot. Good discipline, gets on base, a lot of speed, and some pop.
Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Keishall swings and chops it over to third. Fielding is Oyama. Toss over to first. 1 up, 1 down in the bottom half of the Sun Devils first.
And one big difference in last night's ball game between these two teams who are otherwise pretty evenly matched was the defense. UCI didn't commit a single error. ASU, on the other hand, committed 4. And if you take away the 10 unearned runs that came into score, it would have been a 6-6 game.
And now here comes Wyatt Crenshaw, the left fielder for this Sun Devils roster. First pitch on him, lefty on righty matchup. Takes it for ball number 1, 1-0 to begin his at-bat. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Rockets it foul, third base side, evens the count 1 apiece.
See Kelly sitting low 90s with the fastball. Pretty good for a true freshman. He was a 20th round pick by the Diamondbacks, but ultimately decided to sign with UC Irvine.
The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Swung at nothing but air, 1-2.
You got a handful of draftees who decided to stay home and play college. Ethan Long was selected by the Giants, Isaiah Jackson by the Astros.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch. High and outside, evens the count 2 apiece. So going off what you just said, why do you think a player elects to go to college instead of taking the opportunity to play at the MLB? Like, what's the thought pattern in your opinion?
Well, there's a lot of things that go into that. You know, refining your craft, trying to get a better draft position after, you know, getting more tape, more reps at the college level.
And swing and a miss right there by Crenshaw, so he goes down swinging. So 2 up, 2 down in the bottom half of the first for the Sun Devils. Now here comes Ryan Campos trying to get a 2-out rally started.
Something you'll hear often is that college ball is pretty similar to the high A, double A sort of level that you'll see in the minor leagues. So these guys, when they do get drafted, they'll have a tendency to fly through the system a little bit faster.
First pitch on its way to the catcher of Arizona State. Hits it behind the safety netting. 0-1 to begin his at-bat. Coming into this game, Campos has an average of .267.
One of 3 Sun Devils to homer in the ball game last night.
Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Campos will take it for strike number 2. 0-2 to his at-bat now.
Nice breaking ball there from Kelly. Very aggressive, going right after the Sun Devils' 3-hole hitter.
The 0-2 pitch on its way to Kelly. High and outside, 1-2 now. For Riley Kelly and also Christian Curtis, the starting pitching matchup for UC Irvine and Arizona State. Work quickly and efficiently to try to lower your ERAs. Here comes the pitch to Campos. He'll take it for ball number 2. That evens the count 2 apiece.
A good take from Campos. Good curveball. Started in the zone and then broke downstairs. An enticing pitch.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Takes it high and outside. That fills the count, 3-2 now.
It's a great 2-out at bat. And lost in the chaos of last night's game. The Sun Devils had lots of 2-out success of their own last night.
Here comes the payoff pitch to Campos. He'll take it for ball number 4, so ASU is able to get a base runner with 2 outs. Campos is able to reach first base on a walk. Now here comes Ethan Long, the cleanup hitter, right fielder for the Sun Devils.
Ethan Long has been heating up as of late. A couple hits in the game last night. Now up to 8 hits on the season. Your typical 4-hole hitter. Lots of power.
Campos is a runner at first. First pitch swing, grounded to the shortstop Gleed. Easy toss over to second to get the force out. So ASU is able to get a base runner. However, they're unable to do anything with it. So we head to the top half of the first inning. Still nothing on the scoreboard. It's 0 apiece.
Cronkite News provides students at ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism with the opportunity to gain real-world experience in the newsroom. At Cronkite News, our students produce professional content for audiences by taking on all roles, whether they be reporting, anchoring, producing, or studio production. Each department gives students first-hand professional newsroom experience. For more information, visit cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
As journalists at Cronkite News, we report on stories that matter to you by focusing on the local impact. We dig deeper and work tirelessly to keep you informed.
Live in Wickerburg.
Live in Los Angeles.
In Cleveland. In Washington. In Louisville.
From Jerusalem.
Live in Philadelphia. From around the world to right here in Phoenix.
At Cronkite News, we report the facts and stick to the truth.
Welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona for the top half of the second. Trey Matthews joined alongside Hayden Weber, and doing the sideline is Sam Valenti. ASU and UC Irvine, nothing on the scoreboard, 0 apiece.
Yeah, both starting pitchers off to good starts. Both of them allowed 2-out base runners, but they were able to nip those respective rallies in the bud quickly. And Curtis did a nice job after surrendering that 2-out single to Kendall and then allowing him to steal second base. Did a nice job to retire the dangerous Anthony Martinez on a weak ground out over to second base.
And now here comes Dub Gleed, the 5th hitter for the Anteaters. Manning shortstop this afternoon. First pitch on its way. Takes it inside for ball number 1. 1-0 to begin his at-bat. The 1-0 pitch. Chops it foul right over the dugout of the Anteaters. Watch your head right there. Evens the count, 1 apiece. The 1-1 pitch. Takes it for strike number 2. 1-2 on his at-bat now.
Gleed was one of the few Anteaters who didn't record a hit in the game last night. 0 for 5.
But he still got on base as he chops it up the middle. Fielding it is Keishel. Toss over to first, and that goes just a little high. And Tobias was able to jump up and save it, but unfortunately he came off the bag. So Gleed is able to reach first base safely.
Yeah, that is likely going to be a throwing error on the second baseman, Keishel. Just a little bit high, and Tobias had to ultimately come off the bag, like you said, to save that one from going into the dugout.
See, if you're ASU, that cannot happen. Now, I know that was a tough play, but at the end of the day, maybe the best thing would have been to just hold on to it and not record the error. But nonetheless, base runner at first for the Anteaters. And now Chase Call steps up to the plate for his first crack at it. The designated hitter tossed back over to first.
Chase Call entering this game with a 6-game hitting streak.
Here comes the 1-0. Takes it for ball number 2, 2-0. Now going back over to Dub Gleed, yes, he was able to, he went 0 for 5 in the previous matchup. However, everyone on UC Irvine's starting lineup was able to reach first base safely somehow, some way, whether it was by a walk or a throwing error or a single base hit, whatever the case might be. Everyone was able to reach first base at one point or another.
I believe Gleed was hit by a pitch, and that came with a runner on third base who came around to score.
And he'll take it for strike number 1, 3-1 to his at-bat now. Curtis tosses back over to first, not in time. Gleed was able to get there just before the toss. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Checked his swing. Did he go? Appeal over to first. Yes, he did. Andrew Burke said he broke the plane and he went around.
Nice fastball inside with some arm side tail. Just tied up call.
The full count pitch. He swings and hits it to right, fairly deep, getting chased on the warning track, able to make the catches long. And hustling back over to first is Gleed. So there's the first batter out, recorded in the top half of the second.
Yeah, that was a tough ball to track. Was slicing towards the right field foul line. It was well struck by Call, and a nice job by Long to track that one into his glove for the out.
Now here comes Miles Smith, the left fielder. First pitch to him, inside and in the dirt, hustling and trying to find it is Campos, and he's able to do so. Asks for a new ball, 1-0 to begin the at-bat to the left fielder for the Anteaters. Garcia Pacheco is on deck, Spillane is in the hole, and then we go back to the top of the order. Toss back over to first, getting there in plenty of time is Gleed. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Takes it for strike number 1, evens the count, 1 apiece.
Miles Smith played in the Appalachian League with his teammates David Vizcaino, Finnegan Wall, and Dub Gleed, who's over on first base.
The 1-1 pitch, down and below the knees, inside, and it looks like the umpire said that that pitch hit him, so he's going to take first base. So runners at second and first, and only one batter out.
Yeah, maybe just caught him in the foot. Didn't really get a great look at it. Thought it maybe hit the dirt first, but nonetheless, Curtis has to get out of this jam. Can do so with a ground ball.
Coming up to the plate for his first crack at it is Garcia Pacheco, the catcher for UC Irvine. First pitch on its way. Takes it for strike number 1, 0-1 to begin his at-bat. Ground ball, double play gets you out of this inning, and I'm sure that's what ASU is trying to bank on. Here comes the pitch. Garcia Pacheco will take it for strike number 2, 0-2 now. Working ahead is Curtis.
Yep, started with a fastball and then comes back with the breaking ball. Gets ahead 0-2.
The 0-2 pitch. Garcia Pacheco lines it into left field, and that's going to get down. Hustling and rounding third is Gleed. They're going to try to nail him, and he slides, and he's safe. There's the first run batted in for UC Irvine.
Yep, just a dunk shot there into left field. Nice throw out there by Crenshaw back in, but just not in time.
So 0-2 RBI single by Garcia Pacheco. And now here comes Spillane, the last hitter for the UC Irvine before we go back to the top of the order. First pitch on its way to the anteater center fielder. Chopper foul, third base side. 0-1 to begin the at-bat.
Spillane had a modest hitting streak coming into the game last night that he saw come to an end.
Here comes the 0-1 pitch. High and near the eye level area. 1-1, that evens the count. Runners at second and first, one batter out. Anteaters on top of the Sun Devils, 1-0. The pitch outside, reaches the other side of the batter's box, and Campos elects to take a bit of a mound visit to try to settle down Curtis.
Yeah, definitely not the kind of guy you want to fall behind if you're Christian Curtis, because after Spillane, it's Joe Oyama, who was definitely giving the Sun Devils problems last night. I believe he had 3 hits in that game, or 2 hits and 3 RBI rather, including that home run.
And the thing for Oyama was that he crowds the plate a little bit, so it's hard to pitch to him. Sometimes you're left but with no decision but to like throw it down the middle or throw it just a tad bit outside, but that's what Oyama wants. Here comes the pitch. Hits it foul. Just toward the right of us here in the broadcast booth. Evens the count 2 apiece. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Lifts it foul. Will reach the spectators. I believe that's near a camera operator.
Yep, Curtis went with the curveball in the 2-2. Got Spillane reaching for it, but he just got a piece.
So Smith is the runner at second. Grounder right back to Curtis. Toss over to first for the easy out. So runners at second and third. Ducks on the pond, but there's 2 batters out.
Yeah, and those are the kind of plays that the Sun Devils had issues with yesterday. It's a good thing Curtis collected himself after bobbling it. Take the easy out at first. Don't try and force anything to second like we saw Teeding do yesterday, where he threw it into center field and caused that inning to snowball. Yes, you have runners in scoring position, but still a chance to get out of this inning.
So we're back to the top of the order. Oyama 0 for 1 so far. He began the game with a flyout. So Smith is the runner at third. Garcia Pacheco is the runner at second. The 0-1 pitch to Oyama. Takes it just a tad bit inside, evens the count 1-1.
Curtis broke out the changeup there. 86 miles an hour, just a little bit inside.
You see Contreras is playing just a bit in on the third base side, trying to make sure that Oyama doesn't run. In case Oyama hits it weak down the third base side, Oyama has speed to burn like we established during the course of the broadcast. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Oyama chops it foul, first base side, near ASU's dugout.
Well, Oyama's sitting fastball because on the previous pitch he swung through a changeup and was well early on a 93-mile-an-hour heater. So he's trying to catch up to one and send it to right field.
He sets from the stretch. Oyama goes chasing. And that's how we end the top half of the second. So thanks to Garcia Pacheco, the Anteaters are able to muster up 1 run, and we head to the bottom half of the second. Anteaters on top of the Sun Devils 1-0.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication's Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
And that's the way it is. Monday, September.
Newscasting has changed a lot since the time of Walter Cronkite. That's why here at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism, you can learn the studio production skills of today in real time. Whether you want to work audio, direct, technical direct, design graphics, or you can even run the floor. It's all part of the Television Production and Graphics Lab here at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism. We're going on in 3, 2...
Welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona for the bottom half of the second. ASU trailing the Anteaters by a score of 1-0. In the previous top half of the inning, we saw Garcia Pacheco get a single RBI.
Yeah, and that was a nice piece of hitting there from the Anteaters backstop, who gave the Sun Devils problems last season. The Anteaters swept ASU in a 2-game set in Irvine, and Garcia Pacheco delivered a walk-off single and extras in one of those games. So he has been tough on the Sun Devils, to say the least.
Stepping up to the plate for his first go at it is Jacob Tobias, the first baseman. Batting .333 to begin the campaign. First pitch to him is high and outside, 1-0 to begin his at-bat.
Tobias had a real nice day at the plate last night, had that opposite field home run. First 3-hit game of the season.
1-0 pitch is down and below the knees in the dirt. Reaches the backstop, 2-0 to Tobias now.
Also leads the team with 9 runs batted in.
Here comes the 2-0 pitch. He swings and knocks it foul behind home plate. 2-1 to him now.
So nice to have a left-handed power bat to complement the likes of Ethan Long and Luke Keeschel. Someone you can put in the middle of the order with all those right-handed hitters around him.
Tobias will check his swing, and he holds up, and it's going to be ball number 3, 3-1 to the first baseman for the Sun Devils of Arizona State. And he'll take it for ball number 4. So the leadoff hitter is on for the Sun Devils. Now stepping up to the plate is the shortstop, Luke Hill.
Yeah, Luke Hill is on a tear right now. This is one of the more exciting freshmen on this roster out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And Hill had collected his second 3-hit game of the season last night. You take a look at the numbers, up over 500 on the year. That's crazy.
Absolutely. You love the production from this shortstop for ASU, and he's only getting started. Takes it for strike number 1, 0-1 to him now. Tobias is the runner at first, reached on the walk. And Hill calls time. Looks like something fell out of his pocket. Kelly sets. And Hill is able to knock it foul. Right amount of distance, just hit it at the wrong angle as it went into the Coors Light Devil deck. From the stretch, swing and a miss. So Hill will go down swinging. And there's the first out in the bottom half of the second for the Sun Devils. Now here comes Isaiah Jackson, the center fielder.
Hill just got caught reaching on the curveball. Didn't really get a good look at Kelly. Had a tough time picking up the ball out of his hand. And interesting enough, this is the first time Kelly has reached the second inning this season. Already his longest outing of the year in his third start.
Wow. First pitch to Jackson. Takes it for ball number 1, 1-0 to begin his at-bat.
And his UCI debut worked a scoreless inning against Tulane. Kind of served as an opener in that game. And obviously had a very poor outing his last time out against UNLV, but indication is he's feeling good today.
Jackson gets underneath it. Garcia Pacheco searching for it, and he lost it in the sunlight. So that's going to be a foul ball. Jackson got underneath that, and that's an understatement. That ball went way up there.
Yeah, that it did. Fly balls in the broad daylight with no clouds, very tough to pick up.
Those are always tough for a catcher. I remember, like, when I played, like, coach would always do those kind of drills, and it's a lot harder than people think because the catcher is not at an unusual disadvantage. Jackson takes it for strike number 2, 1-2 to him now.
Yeah, having to come out of the crouch and take your mask off and pick up the ball, it's very difficult.
1-2 pitch. Jackson swing and a miss. So back-to-back strikeouts for Riley Kelly, the starting pitcher for the Anteaters. Looking for redemption, and right now he is coasting. Only 2 base runners he has given up are 2 walks.
Yeah, and after walking Tobias to lead off the inning, that's exactly how you want to bounce back as a starter. You get the 2 quick strikeouts, and now you've got Reese Beheeler with a runner on and 2 out.
So Tobias is the runner at first, and here comes Beheeler. He'll take it for strike number 1. 0-1 to begin his at-bat.
Reese Beheeler's had a nice start to his Sun Devil career, 2 for 2, and his pinch hit appearances, getting his first start.
Yeah, he was a pinch hitter in last night's game, and he was able to get a base knock like you just mentioned. Beheeler chops it foul, first base side, so now he is down in the count, 0-2. For Beheeler, just try to put the ball in play because you do not want Kelly to strike out the side.
And we'll get to see his 2-strike approach. Try and stay alive.
Kelly taps it foul behind home plate.
Yeah, high pedigree for Beheeler coming out of the state of Texas. Went to his high school, played his high school ball at George Ranch. Was a top 500 prospect in the very talent-rich Lone Star State.
From the stretch, here's the pitch from Kelly, swing and a miss. So after giving up the leadoff walk, ASU strikes out back-to-back-to-back, so Kelly strikes out the side. So we head to the top half of the third inning, still 1-0 in favor of the Anteaters of UC Irvine. Don't go anywhere.
Cronkite News provides students at ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism with the opportunity to gain real-world experience in the newsroom. At Cronkite News, our students produce professional content for audiences by taking on all roles, whether they be reporting, anchoring, producing, or studio production. Each department gives students first-hand professional newsroom experience. For more information, visit cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication's Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Welcome back to the ASU Livestream 1, and I'm getting a little hungry right now because you see everyone just grilling burgers and hot dogs, and that is just the epitome of baseball. Beautiful afternoon and just munching on some good food. We are about to begin the top half of the third inning for UC Irvine. They are on top of the Sun Devils by a score of 1-0. Now here comes Will Bermudez, the second baseman. First pitch to him, knocks it foul. 0-1 to begin his at-bat.
Great crowd on hand. Good food, good seats, and a great ball game between two very good teams here at Phoenix Muni today.
The 0-1 pitch, and he hits it into left field, getting chased, going back, and that's going to hit the warning track and knock off the wall. Bermudez is going to stand up at second with a leadoff double. Nothing Crenshaw could do about that one. He was getting chased and unfortunately just ran out of room.
Yeah, Bermudez following it up a three-hit performance last night with a double there. He's feeling himself. And just another solid opposite field hit for UCI. They seem to do that very well. That one just carried over the head of Crenshaw. No chance to make a play on it.
Now here comes Caden Kendall, the right fielder. It's it near ASU's dugout. 0-1 to begin the at-bat.
Caden was struggling a bit to start this series, but
and that's going to split the third and shortstop of ASU. And now there's runners at the corners. Nothing that Contreras and Hill could do about that one as it reached Crenshaw in left field once again.
I was going to say Kendall was looking to heat up, but 2 hits last night, now 2 for 2 today.
So the first two batters are able to reach base safely. So you have Bermudez, who was able to reach on a double, and then Kendall was able to get a single. And now this is not what you want. Runners at the corners, no batters out. And now here comes the always dangerous Anthony Martinez. First pitch to him. Martinez swings and knocks it foul behind the backstop. 0-1 to begin the at-bat.
Yeah, you got to be real careful here. Martinez always looking to go yard. Don't want to throw it over the heart of the plate.
0-1 pitch to Martinez, and that hit him. Bases are now loaded, no batters out, and you're still in the heart of the order for the Anteaters. Stepping up to the plate is Dub Gleed now.
Well, that's actually not the worst thing in the world for the Sun Devils, because now you got a force at home plate. You've got Dub Gleed at the plate, who, yes, he did reach base yesterday, but went 0 for 5 and reached on an error his first time up. So let's see if he can keep this ball in the infield, get a strikeout, maybe a pop-up, or even better, a ground ball right at one of your middle infielders.
Now the key is Hill and Keishel cannot make an error like they did in last night's matchup. And now we have a mound visit, and there are no players warming up in the bullpen for Arizona State. So I believe this is going to be Curtis's mess to get out of.
Yeah, way too early in the game to be looking bullpen here. Curtis hasn't faced, I mean, he faced some adversity in the previous inning, but still hasn't thrown that many pitches, and he's pretty stretched out. He's good to go, and you need him to eat innings, so definitely not looking to take him out here.
Dub Gleed 0 for 1, reached on an error in his previous at-bat, takes it for strike number 1. Bermuda's at third, Kendall at second, Martinez at first. Double, single, hit by pitch. He sets, here's the pitch. Checked his swing, did he go? No, he did not, says the first base umpire, Andrew Burke.
2 changeups to start the at-bat. Unconventional, to say the least.
Working from the stretch is Curtis. The pitch is called strike, 1-2 to him now. Now, if Curtis is able to handle Gleed and possibly get a strikeout, then it sets up the double play opportunity, and maybe ASU can tightrope out of this situation. No harm done. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Gleed hits it to center. Jackson coming on in, not deep. Able to make the catch. Bermudez tags at third, and he's going to get there in plenty of time. And Kendall is able to move up to third on that play as well. So runners at the corners, 1 batter out, but the Anteaters will go up 2-0.
Yep, that's a good team first at bat there for Dub Gleed. Just gets the ball out of the infield into the outfield and just deep enough to get the runner home from third.
And now Chase Call, the designated hitter, will get another crack at it. 0 for 1 with a flyout. First pitch, whiffs at nothing but air, 0-1 to begin his at-bat.
Lots of movement on Christian Curtis's pitches. Can be tough to pick up.
I know he gave up a sac fly RBI in the previous matchup. However, seems like Curtis is settling down quite nicely after that mound visit, as now he's working ahead of the count, 0-2.
Yeah, and that was a nice job by Sam Peraza, the pitching coach, to recognize, hey, I just need to settle down my pitcher. And Curtis still a chance to get out of this inning relatively unscathed.
High and near the eye level area, 1-2. 52 pitches thrown so far by Christian Curtis. Talked about it at the top of the broadcast, just trying to lower his ERA and just trying to work efficiently. 1-2 pitch, chopper, over to first. Throw to short for 1, relay to first, not in time. And Kendall scores as a result. So Martinez is the force out at second. And I'm not sure what just happened, but the umpires have ruled both batters out.
Yeah, so ASU gets out of the inning, and he'll take that with only the 1-run scoring.
So before we head into the break, it's runners interference. So we head to the bottom half of the third inning. ASU trailing 2-0.
Cronkite News provides students at ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism with the opportunity to gain real-world experience in the newsroom. At Cronkite News, our students produce professional content for audiences by taking on all roles, whether they be reporting, anchoring, producing, or studio production. Each department gives students first-hand professional newsroom experience. For more information, visit cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
As journalists at Cronkite News, we report on stories that matter to you by focusing on the local impact. We dig deeper and work tirelessly to keep you informed.
Live in Wickerburg.
Live in Los Angeles. In Cleveland. In Washington. In Louisville.
From Jerusalem. Live in Philadelphia. From around the world to right here in Phoenix.
At Cronkite News, we report the facts and stick to the truth.
Welcome back to Phoenix Municipal Stadium as ASU is trailing the Anteaters by a score of 2-0. Trey Matthews joined alongside Hayden Weber on this beautiful afternoon matchup for baseball. Fans are settling in, and ASU has some work to do. However, still within striking distance, as we know how rough the first game of this 3-game set was, in which they dropped the first matchup against the Anteaters by a score of 16-6. So still within striking distance, but just got to work a little quicker.
Yeah, well, the Sun Devils got bailed out by that runner's interference, which resulted in the double play to end the top of the third, because had that not happened, a run would have scored for UCI. It would have been 3-0, and the inning still would have been going on. So a big break there for the Sun Devils, and we'll see if they can capitalize, and it's up to the 9-hitter New Contradas to get it started.
So Contradas will get his first crack at it. Then we go to the top of the order with Keishel. Contradas showing bunt, pops it up, and that'll find the backstop. 0-1 to begin his at-bat.
Yep, trying to get a bunt single to get this inning going, trying to catch the Anteaters sleeping. Just popped it up, and fortunately for him, not right to the catcher.
0-1 pitch. Contradas takes it for strike number 2, 0-2, as he's working from behind the count. The 0-2 pitch. Contradas is able to hit it into center field, and that has a chance, and it drops for a leadoff single.
Well, there you go. Contradas sets the table for the top of the order. Keishel coming to the plate with the duck on the pond, and this is how you get rallies going. Starts with, takes the entire lineup, and bottom of the order was able to deliver there.
Now, I said it in the first inning, but I love Keishel's theme song, in which he's playing Rocky, because I am from Philadelphia, so we all know how big Rocky is out there. So Keishel will get his second crack at it. So Contreras is the runner at first. First pitch to Keishel. Takes it for ball number 1, 1-0 to begin his at-bat. Keishel sets back into the box. Second pitch of his at-bat, and it's a second ball, 2-0.
Now we've seen from Kelly, he's got a 3-pitch mix. Looks like he's going fastball, changeup, curveball. See what he goes to on behind 2-0.
He throws it right down the middle, and that is in deep left center field. And they're able to find it. Spillane was able to find it in the back of his mitt at the last possible second, because it looked like he was in a bit of a mess, as we know how sunny it is in Phoenix, Arizona right now. And we've already seen a couple examples where some players lose it in the sun. And in this case, Spillane almost fell victim to it, but he was able to find it.
Yeah, Keishel caught up to the 91-mile-an-hour fastball at the top of the zone there. Just a little bit underneath it, though, and it died right at the warning track.
Contradas is the runner at first. Here's Crenshaw. Lefty on righty matchup. Swing and a miss. Foul tip into the catcher's mitt. 0-1 to begin the at-bat.
And for Crenshaw, had his first hitless game as a Sun Devil last night.
Still batting .417 going into this game. 0-1 pitch. Contradas is on the move. Check swing. Didn't hold up. And unfortunately, he knocked it foul. Not sure if that was a hit-and-run attempt, but nonetheless, Contradas is going to have to wiggle on back to first.
Yep, lots of speed on up and down the lineup for the Sun Devils. We'll see lots of runners be put in motion. Wouldn't be surprised if that was a hit-and-run. Crenshaw, great pull hitter.
Contradas has one stolen base so far this season, and Crenshaw knocks it foul behind home plate.
big gap in right center field for Crenshaw to work with. Spillane playing a little bit shaded over towards the left.
Toss back over to first. Did they get him? They got him. Contreras gets picked off, and there's the second out of the inning.
It's another unforced error right there. Contreras just leaning a little bit too far, and a really, really solid pickoff throw there from Kelly.
Yeah, unfortunately, Contreras got a little too greedy, and he paid the piper for that one. So now there are no base runners for ASU, and they are down 2 batters. Swings and lofts it into center, not deep. Spillane camps underneath it, and that's how ASU is going to end their bottom half of the 3rd inning. So they were able to get a base runner, but unfortunately Contreras got picked off. So we head to the top half of the 4th inning. ASU trailing the Anteaters by a score of 2-0.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communications Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
And that's the way it is. Monday, September.
Newscasting has changed a lot since the time of Walter Cronkite. That's why here at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism, you can learn the studio production skills of today in real time. Whether you want to work audio, direct, technical direct, design graphics, or you can even run the floor. It's all part of the Television Production and Graphics Lab here at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism. We're going on in 3, 2...
Welcome back to Phoenix Muni Stadium. So ASU welcomes all fans far and wide, and getting more on that is Sam Valenti. So Sam, what you got for me on the UC Irvine fans?
Yeah, Trey, I gotta say I am really impressed with the turnout by Anteater fans today. UC Irvine fans have made their presence felt here. There's a lot of navy blue behind the Anteater dugout, and it's a 5-hour 32-minute drive from Irvine to Phoenix, and quite a few Irvine fans have made the trek here to Phoenix Municipal Stadium. Back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you for that wonderful hit, Sam. So it's always nice when the opposing team's fans can always make the trip. We love it when ASU's fans also travel with the team, so it's nice to welcome fans both home and abroad, far and wide, wherever they might be from.
Yeah, it's a great time to make the trip out to Phoenix. That 5.5-hour drive, not too bad. I've made that drive many times myself, having lived in Orange County for much of my life. So it's good to see the fans make the trip out here.
So Miles Smith is working ahead of the count, 2-0, and he's able to jack one into left center, and that is deep. That is trouble, and it's going to hit the wall. Smith is hustling. He's got wheels. He's rounding second, and he's going to slide into third base for the leadoff triple.
Miles Smith didn't play in the game last night, but has made his presence felt in this one. Got hit by a pitch his first time up, and then the triple has UCI in prime position to extend their lead.
So runner at third, no batters out. And now here comes Garcia Pacheco. He was able to score the first run of the game for the Anteaters. He was able to get a single RBI in his first at-bat.
We'll see the infield play in now for the Sun Devils.
Chops it onto the third base side, foul. I always hated playing the infield so in, especially when you have to deal with a batter who's already shown that he can hit it right past you. It's always risky. Second pitch of the at bat. It's going to be a ball, 1-1 that evens the count.
Yeah, it's definitely tough, especially at those corner positions. You get the big pull hitters up at the plate. It can be very intimidating.
Garcia Pacheco checks back into the box. Here's the 1-1 pitch. He's able to hit it weakly into center, and that's going to drop in front of Jackson. Scoring with ease is Smith. It is now 3-0 in favor of UC Irvine.
Yeah, the Anteaters are just red hot at the plate. Everyone's feeling it. It's a battle to get to the bat rack right now. Everyone is swinging it well, and this team's 8-1, and they've scored double-digit runs in 4 of their 9 games.
And 66% of the runs scored in this afternoon so far is because of Garcia Pacheco. Excellent bunt by Spillane, but they're going to wave it off. Yeah, they're going to call it foul. I think it ricocheted off the catcher Campos for ASU, so he's going to have to hustle back to the batter's box to try this again.
Yeah, we've seen Spillane show bunt quite a few times. He did in his first at-bat, he did yesterday, and now once again.
Garcia Pacheco, the runner at first, having himself a day. Back-to-back at-bats, back-to-back single RBIs. Bunt again by Spillane, and he knocks it foul. Now he has no choice but to swing. It's 0-2 to him now.
Yeah, now the bunt opportunity has gone by the wayside, but this is a prime position to lay down a bunt. You've got your 9-hole hitter at the plate, top of the order in the on-deck circle, still nobody out. Try to get that runner into scoring position.
Curtis sets, taking his time. Time is winding down on the pitch clock. Grounder over to second, diving stop, toss over to short for one, relay to first, not in time. Excellent defense by Keishel to get the out initially and toss it over to Hill. Unfortunately, they were not able to get Spillane, but they're going to get their first out of the inning.
Beautiful diving stop there by the second baseman, and a great throw over to second base. I mean, that is one of the toughest throws to make when you go from second over back to the shortstop covering second base. That can be a very difficult, awkward throw to make, but a nice job to nab the lead runner.
Oyama steps back into the box as we are back to the top of the order. Curtis tossed it back over to first momentarily, but getting there in plenty of time was Garcia Pacheco. Trying to do it once again, and Garcia Pacheco got back in plenty of time. 62 pitches thrown so far by Christian Curtis. Has given up 3 runs so far. The pitch, and showing bunt for the second batter in the row. Oyama knocked it foul, however. 0-1 to start the at-bat.
Oyama trying to lay down the drag bunt, got a running start almost in the left-hand batter's box.
The pitch reaches the other side of the batter's box for ball number 1.
Spillane is a major threat to run over at first. Already 4 stolen bases on the young season. And he's yet to be caught stealing.
Oyama crowds the plate once again, steps back into the box. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Inside, and that's going to reach the backstop. As Campos couldn't get full grasp of it, and moving into second with ease is Garcia Pacheco. I believe that's going to be a wild pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. That one hit the dirt before it even made it to Campos. Kicked off his chest guard and spiked way up. Couldn't find it for a second, but was able to get it just in time to keep Spillane at second.
But I want to give credit to Campos because that ball was destined to reach the backstop, and he was able to knock it at the last possible second to keep it in front of him. So that's great fundamental baseball by Campos, the catcher for Arizona State. So falling behind Oyama, it's 3-1. The 3-1 pitch. Oyama takes it for strike number 2. That'll fill the count, 3-2.
See if Curtis goes with the changeup here. Seems like he's felt that pitch with 2 strikes.
The full count pitch. Oyama lines it over to first, toss back over to second. They got the double play. Tobias made the catch initially, and he tossed it back over to short, and Hill was able to corral it. So that was an unorthodox double play, but it works nonetheless. So we head to the bottom half of the fourth inning. ASU is trailing 3-0.
Cronkite News provides students at ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism with the opportunity to gain real-world experience in the newsroom. At Cronkite News, our students produce professional content for audiences by taking on all roles, whether they be reporting, anchoring, producing, or studio production. Each department gives students first-hand professional newsroom experience. For more information, visit cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication's Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona, as we get a good shot of a fountain on campus of Arizona State. Beautiful atmosphere, especially this time of year for Arizona. So, you know, having this great warm weather, especially during the winter months, having grown up in Michigan, also residing in Philadelphia, it's just like, trust me, the weather is not like this time of year.
Yeah, this is the place to be in March. Arizona in the spring months is just phenomenal. The weather's great. That's why they have spring training here. Lots of people make it out here. You know, you got the WM Open in late February. You just had the Super Bowl this year. So Arizona has been a tourist hotspot over the last few weeks and in the last couple years in the spring.
Now here comes Ryan Campos, 0 for 1 with a walk and a flyout. First pitch to him is outside, 1-0 to begin the at-bat.
Tell you what, Riley Kelly's been very impressive, working 3 scoreless innings, just the 1 hit allowed.
The pitch hits the safety netting behind home plate, evens the count 1 apiece.
I mean, he's walked 2 batters, and he's stranded every runner that he's put on base, and in the case of New Contradas, was able to pick him off over at first base.
The 1-1 pitch, outside, 2-1.
We know Ryan Campos is always going to give a good at-bat. He's going to work into deep counts, see a lot of pitches.
That one missed badly. It's now 3-1. Campos working ahead. The 3-1 pitch. Campos will fill the count after he fouls it off.
Just the second full count for the Sun Devils today.
Got to keep working it. No quick innings, no quick at-bats. The full count pitch, Campos hits it back up the middle, and he's going to reach first base safely on the leadoff single.
That's a beautiful right bat. Campos sees a bunch of pitches and then finishes it off with a rifle shot back up to center field, and nice leadoff base knock, and the Devils once again with a runner aboard and see if they can eat away at this deficit.
Now here comes Ethan Long, the right fielder for ASU. Righty on righty matchup. First pitch inside, takes it for ball number 1. One-0 pitch to Long. Long will take it for ball number 2 as that last pitch attempt reached the other side of the batter's box. Now working ahead of the count is Long, 2-0.
Devils have been able to get guys on base. Now it's just a matter of keep the pressure on. String together hits, string together good at bats.
Up the middle, back-to-back singles. as Campos rounds second, but he'll stay put. So Campos and Long reach first base on the singles. And now here comes Jacob Tobias.
Yep, right on cue. That's how you link at bats and build innings. Now you're in a great position with one of the hottest hitters on the team at the plate. Nobody out, 2 runners on.
So I need to clarify something. Cooper Robinson is now in the pitch for UC Irvine, number 21. And it looks like UC Irvine might go back to their bullpen. Might be easy come, easy go for Cooper Robinson. Hasn't thrown that many pitches, and he's already given up back-to-back singles to open up the bottom half of the fourth. UCI is on top by a score of 3-0, but I'm sure this is not a run differential that's not sustainable for ASU.
Yeah, well, you can tie it up with one swing of the bat. Tying run at the plate. And Tobias, one of the better power hitters on this team, certainly capable of doing just that.
There's movement in the bullpen for UC Irvine, so they're going to elect to keep Cooper in the game. However, this is going to be his jam to work out of for the time being. So here comes Jacob Tobias. First pitch to him. Inside and in the dirt, 1-0 to begin the at-bat. Robinson, the sophomore pitcher, sets. Here comes the pitch. Knocked into center field, and that's going to get down. Spillane dove for it, and he missed it. Rounding third and heading home is Campos. Trailing him is Long. It's a triple for Tobias, and ASU cuts the lead to 1.
Well, there you go, Jacob Tobias, hottest hitter in the lineup for the Sun Devils, gets his team right back in the ball game. Definitely not one of the players who's a triple candidate on this team. But like you said, the diving attempt by Spillane in center field allowed the 2 runs to score, and Tobias to get up to third, who is now the tying run and the go-ahead run at the plate in Luke Hill.
You saw Spillane just throw his mitt out of frustration as he was chasing for the ball. He had it right there, and unfortunately, the lead is now cut to 1. And there's a runner at third, no batters out, and up to the plate now is Luke Hill as he took it for ball number 1. The 1-0 pitch from Robinson, outside, ball number 2, 2-0 now. Two-0 pitch is outside, 3-0. Cooper Robinson has not been sharp in the bottom half of the 4th inning.
Yeah, he's yet to record an out. ASU already threatening to tie this ball game.
Once again, there is activity in the Anteaters bullpen. And that one is called strike number 1. So Hill will now still ahead of the count, 3-1.
Looks like the strike zone extended a little bit there on the 3-0 count. Thought that fastball was a little bit off the plate.
Tobias is the runner at third on the triple, and there's ball 4 to Hill. So he'll take his base, and now approaching to the batter's box is Isaiah Jackson.
Yep, Jackson homered in the game last night, and he's really enjoyed hitting in the friendly confines of Phoenix Municipal Stadium, although he did strike out his first time up. All he really has to do here is put the ball in play. Anteaters playing with the middle infielders back, so they'll concede a run for the double play ball. But we know Jackson was going to want more. He's going to want to get the ball in the outfield and at the very least drive that run in from third with a sac fly, but ideally you'd get a base hit here.
And it looks like UC Irvine has seen enough of Robinson. It looks like they're going to be calling to their bullpen, so we're going to see a pitching change in the bottom half of the fourth inning. I don't understand why they took Riley Kelly out the game in the first place, but while they go for a pitching change, we're going to step aside here on the ASU Livestream 1. Don't go anywhere. We will be back momentarily.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communications Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
And that's the way it is. Monday, September.
Newscasting has changed a lot since the time of Walter Cronkite. That's why here at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism, you can learn the studio production skills of today in real time. Whether you want to work audio, direct, technical direct, design graphics, or you can even run the floor. It's all part of the Television Production and Graphics Lab here at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism. We're going on in 3, 2...
Welcome back to Phoenix Municipal Stadium as UC Irvine has gone for another pitching change. So initially in to come in for relief was Cooper Robinson. Unfortunately, he gave up back-to-back singles, and it resulted in an RBI moments later. And it was a triple from Tobias that cut the lead to 1. So now into the game is Andre Anton for the Anteaters of UC Irvine.
Yep, Andre Antone, he last pitched against Michigan. And that midweek game before playing Arizona State, worked 2 innings in that game, allowed 1 run, which was unearned, but did punch out 4 batters. So he's a big strikeout pitcher. He's racked up 13 strikeouts and 9 1/3 innings of work.
So Antone will look to just stop the bleeding a bit for UC Irvine. There is runners at first and third for ASU, no batters out, and here comes Jackson. First pitch to Jackson. He'll take it for strike number 1. 0-1 to begin his at-bat, and first pitch in relief for Antone.
Yep, steals the strike with the big bender. Just a 73-mile-an-hour breaking ball. Definitely not the kind of pitch Jackson wants to swing at, the first pitch of an at-bat.
Second pitch of the at-bat reaches the other side of the batter's box for ball number 1, evens the count 1 apiece. Antone is a right-handed grad student. Toss back over to first for Hill. Nothing doing at first. The pitch to Jackson, way outside for ball number 2. Two 2-1 pitch. Jackson will take it for ball number 3, 3-1 now. If you're the coaching staff for the Anteaters, you can't be too happy right now because you had a 3-0 lead, and then your relief pitchers are coming in, and they're not really closing the door like they're supposed to do.
Yep, just falling behind in counts. ASU getting in good hitters counts.
Jackson lost it to center, not deep. Spillane takes a couple steps in. He's able to make the catch. Tobias will tag at third, and this game is tied.
Well, partner, that was plenty deep enough to score the runner from third. Jackson gave it a ride. No chance for Spillane to get the throw in towards home. We got ourselves a tie ball game.
So one batter out, but the sac fly RBI, by Jackson ties this game, and we have a brand new ball game here in Phoenix, Arizona. And now here comes Reese Beheeler. Hill's the runner at first. toss back over. Getting there in plenty of time. The Healer struck out in his first at-bat. Toss back over to first once again. Not even close. We've already seen Contreras be picked off a good while ago, and they're trying to do the same thing to Hill. First pitch to be Healer. He takes it for strike number one, 0-1 to begin his at-bat. Well, Beheeler is no longer batting 1,000 because we said going into this game, he has had 2 plate appearances and it's resulted in 2 hits, and they were pinch hit situations as well.
Yeah, he's had actually a decent first at bat despite striking out. He got behind 0-2, was able to foul off a few pitches, so at the very least he was able to see some pitches.
The 0-1 pitch to Beheeler. He's able to knock it into center once again. Getting chased is Spillane. At the warning track, he makes the catch.
They got a hold of that one, sent it to the deepest part of the yard and just right at the center fielder.
New Contreras is now up to the plate, the third baseman. Antone has one more out to get. Contreras is 1 for 1 with a single, but like we said moments ago, he was picked off at first. Toss back over to first, and speaking of which, Hill just got picked off. Second time this afternoon we've seen ASU get a little too greedy and get picked off as a result. So we head to the top half of the 5th. That's a disappointing way to end a productive 4th, but nonetheless, we have a brand new game. It's tied 3 apiece.
Cronkite News provides students at ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism with the opportunity to gain real-world experience in the newsroom. At Cronkite News, our students produce professional content for audiences by taking on all roles, whether they be reporting, anchoring, producing, or studio production. Each department gives students first-hand professional newsroom experience. For more information, visit cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication's Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Welcome back to Phoenix Municipal Stadium, where we have a brand new game. It is tied 3 apiece in the top half of the 5th.
Yep, ASU was able to erase that 3-0 deficit relatively quickly. Got a leadoff single from Campos. Long was able to follow that up with a base hit of his own, and then Tobias had the big 2 RBI triple. It was just a shot into center field that Spillane couldn't come up with after laying out. And then Tobias came in to score on the Jackson sac fly. So a nice job by the Sun Devils to link at bats, keep the line moving, and ultimately that's what allowed them to even this game up.
Something I'm confused about is that I don't understand why UC Irvine took Riley Kelly out the game, because he only gave up 1 hit and a couple walks, and obviously he didn't give up a run. And sometimes sometimes it looked like he was wheeling and dealing quite nicely, so don't understand the decision there.
Well, sometimes you have guys who kind of serve as an opener, guys who aren't necessarily designed to go deep into the game. You just want them to get maybe through the order 1 time or 1 inning in the case of Kelly. And that's becoming more common in today's game.
So umpires will call time. And it looks like it might be a pitch clock violation. The umpires were pointing towards it. Yep, so now it's a 3-1 count. This is going to take some getting used to. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Fills the count, 3-2. Bermuda's trying to make something out of it. The second baseman for the Anteaters. Three-two pitch on its way to Bermudez. He'll be called and rung up. Third strike. In the words of Ernie Harwell, he stood there like a little house on the side of the road.
Yep, beautiful job by Curtis to paint that inside corner. Bermudez tried to lean out of the way and try to sell that it might have been a little bit too far inside, but the home plate umpire doesn't bite. And a big strikeout for Curtis to start off the fifth.
First pitch swinging, and it's hit into right field. That is deep, and that's going to hit the warning track and hit the wall. And standing up at second with a one-out double, Caden Kendall right there was able to get a good jolt of that one, and that's going to spring some life into UC Irvine.
Yep, that's Caden Kendall heating up. 2 hits last night, now 3 hits today. And he was, at one time, first team All-Big West. As a sophomore, led the squad with a .328 average.
Now here comes Anthony Martinez, the cleanup hitter for the Anteaters. First pitch on its way. In the dirt, keeping in front of it is Kempos. It's 1-0 to begin Martinez's at bat. Runner in scoring position for the Anteaters. One batter out, 1-0 to Martinez. Pitch way outside, 2-0. Martinez is 0 for 1 this afternoon. Ground out, hit by pitch.
Another very patient at bat from the big bopper. Getting ahead in a
2-0 pitch is knocked foul. Like as you were saying, working the count right now for Martinez. Martinez knows what he likes, and he is just waiting for it. I'm sure he's sitting dead red on any fastball that'll be thrown right down Main Street.
Absolutely, and when you get ahead 2-0, it's not necessarily only about working the count. You are able to be a little bit more selective with the count in your advantage. Like you said, maybe sit on a fastball or eliminate certain pitches. Definitely improves your odds at a successful at bat.
2-1 pitch way outside for ball 3, 3-1 now. Looks like Christian Curtis is sitting at 79 pitches, so he's working it up just a tad bit. The pitch swung on and missed by Martinez. He might have chased ball 4, and that's going to fill the count 3-2.
Yep, that one broke towards the back foot.
The payoff pitch. Martinez chops it foul, first base side.
Does appear that someone's getting loose in the Sun Devil bullpen, and Curtis now upwards of 80 pitches, reaching his limit.
Yep, that's Brock Peary for ASU getting loose. High and inside, ball number 4 to Martinez, so he'll take first base on the walk. Looks like Peary is getting some water. Still trying to keep himself loose. And here we go, the slow walk to the mound. This might be the end for Christian Curtis this afternoon. So he's responsible for the 2 runners on base. He can't win this game. However, I'm sure he'll be satisfied not to come away with a possible loss. Might not be a pitching change, might just be a mound visit once again.
All right, so they leave him in. Interesting. Peary was standing there at the door
Yeah.
in the bullpen ready to come in. It looks like Curtis convinced his head coach to leave him in the ball game, and it's a nice vote of confidence. Curtis has gotten himself into jams today, but he's done a nice job of limiting damage. He's allowed runs in 3 or 4 innings, but the Anteaters have only scored 1 run in all the innings that they scored.
Absolutely. Let's see if he can make his way out of this jam this time round. First pitch to Gleed is outside for ball number 1. So if you're able to convince your manager to keep you in the game, then you better deliver because, like we said, Peary was at the door. He finished up his warm-up tosses. He was getting some water, and they said, you're not coming in quite yet. Rips one foul, third base side into the spectators. Evens the count 1 apiece. Squared it off quite nicely. Unfortunately, he hit it at the wrong angle. Here comes a 1-1 pitch to Gleed. He lofts it in the center, not deep. Jackson camping underneath it. Able to make the catch. Tagging at second and reaching third base safely. And UC Irvine now has runners at the corners with 2 batters out.
Jackson showing off the cannon in center field. Almost overthrew Contradas over at third base.
Yeah, in that case, Kendall was going to get to third base with plenty of time and with ease. So you might want to hit your cutoff man in that case just to be safe because you don't want to overthrow your third baseman in Contradas and then run the risk of sacrificing another run, and then UC Irvine regains control of the lead. And now here comes Chase Call. He'll take it for ball number 1 down below the knees. One 1-0 pitch. Takes it outside for ball number 2, 2-0 now.
You definitely don't want to be falling behind. Don't want to give anyone free bases, especially with 2 outs.
Outside and wasn't even close. It's now 3-0. So I know there's 2 batters down, and I think we discussed this in the previous broadcast, but if your call, are you going to swing 3-0?
No, not with 2 outs.
Here comes the 3-0 pitch. And I guess you were right in that case because that was 4 straight balls, and it results in a walk that will now load the bases for Miles Smith, who was able to get a triple in his previous at-bat.
Yeah, and that's going to spell the end of Christian Curtis's day, and it's going to be up to the bullpen to try and keep this game tied and pick up their starting pitcher, who didn't have the greatest start today, but at the very least he was able to work himself out of tough situations. Going to need a little bit of help this time, but what he did tonight, or today rather, was eat some valuable innings. He got through 4 2/3 and has put his team in a position to win this game.
So Brock Peary will be the new pitcher for ASU. We're going to let him warm up, and we're going to step aside on the ASU live stream 1.
Cronkite News provides students at ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism with the opportunity to gain real-world experience in the newsroom. At Cronkite News, our students produce professional content for audiences by taking on all roles, whether they be reporting, anchoring, producing, or studio production. Each department gives students first-hand professional newsroom experience. For more information, visit cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
As journalists at Cronkite News, we report on stories that matter to you by focusing on the local impact. We dig deeper and work tirelessly to keep you informed.
Live in Wickerburg.
Live in Los Angeles. In Cleveland. In Washington. In Louisville.
From Jerusalem. Live in Philadelphia. From around the world to right here in Phoenix.
At Cronkite News, we report the facts and stick to the truth.
Welcome back inside Phoenix Municipal Stadium. As ASU went for a pitching change, now pitching is Brock Peary, number 33, a sinker arm thrower.
He's kind of got that sidearm motion, tough to pick up. The strikeout numbers this season have been impressive. 6 punch-outs in 2 2/3 innings of work. And Brock Peary returning Pac-12 saves leader. So it was ASU's closer last year. This year he's got a couple of saves, but has primarily been used in high leverage situations.
First pitch, and he hits Smith. So Smith will take his base on the hit by pitch. But unfortunately, all the bags were occupied. So UC Irvine will regain the lead. It's now 4-3. I don't think that's what Peary had in mind.
Not at all. Just ran a little bit too far low and inside. And Miles Smith, second time he's been hit by a pitch today.
Now up to the plate, a man who is responsible for half the runs for UC Irvine. It's Garcia Pacheco, because he has 2 RBIs to his credit. Both of them singles. And he knocks it into left field. That might get down, and it is. Diving for it was Crenshaw, but he was unable to get full grasp of it. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. And UC Irvine continues to regain control of the lead. It's now 6-3.
Have a day. Abraham Garcia Pacheco, 3 for 3 with 4 RBI.
Yeah, I would think that's going to be credited a single to Garcia Pacheco, just because Crenshaw dove for it and it was not a routine play.
Yeah, it's absolutely a base hit. Just a tough pill to swallow for the Sun Devils, especially when you go to Brock Peary. That's an aggressive move, getting a late inning arm, if you will, and putting him in the 5th inning to try and keep this game tied, and this time it didn't work out.
Now here's Luke Spillane, the center fielder. Takes it for strike number 1. 1-1 to him now. This has to be a tough pill to swallow if you're ASU, because you were able to tie the game in the last half of the inning, and now easy come, easy go. The Anteaters are able to double their lead once again, and they're up by 3 runs for the second time this afternoon.
Yeah, it's discouraging when you fight and claw your way back into a game, tie it up, and just to have it go away just like that.
The 1-2 pitch. Spillane is able to loft it into the stands. Foul.
And that's kind of what happened last night. ASU got down big. They fought their way back into the game, and just like that, UCI was able to double their lead.
Shoots one foul. Once again. So those runners who scored, it's not going to go on Peary, because Christian Curtis was responsible for the bases loaded jam. So that's not going to help Christian Curtis's ERA, as once again he's responsible for all the runs who have scored so far. And he hits him once again. So Spillane will take his base. This is the second batter that Peary has hit in the top half of the 5th. And I would have to imagine if he hits another batter, isn't that an automatic ejection?
I haven't heard of that rule, but definitely not what you're trying to do. Yeah, just doesn't have his command today. Already 3 hit batters for UCI.
Oyama will take it for strike number 1, 0-1 to begin the at-bat.
Yeah, partner, I'm pretty sure that is not a rule. But,
not a rule?
Not a rule.
Okay, good. Must have misheard it then, because I thought a pitcher can have a limited amount of times that they can hit a batter.
Yeah, not sure about that one.
0-2 now. Trying to work out of this jam. Oyama swing and a miss. So 3 straight pitches, 3 straight strikes result in a strikeout, and we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. UCI on top by a score of 6-3.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication's Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
And that's the way it is. Monday, September.
Newscasting has changed a lot since the time of Walter Cronkite. That's why here at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism, you can learn the studio production skills of today in real time. Whether you want to work audio, direct, technical direct, design graphics, or you can even run the floor. It's all part of the Television Production and Graphics Lab here at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism. We're going on in 3, 2...
Welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona. ASU has some work to do, but Sam Valenti might have some good news for the Sun Devils faithful. So, Sam, what you got for me?
Yeah, Trey, in yesterday's game, ASU had its best offensive output in the bottom of the fifth. Sun Devils scored 3 runs in the fifth. And in this ball game here today, where they are currently down by 3 runs, Arizona State is looking to have a repeat of yesterday's bottom of the fifth and get some runs on the board. Back to you guys in the booth.
All right, so ASU, partner, they got some work to do, but we definitely know that they have a knack for the theatrics.
They do. This is a squad that's built to come back, if you will. And what I mean by that is lots of guys who get on base and then ample power throughout the order to put a lot of runs on the board with one swing of the bat. So ASU, obviously against North Dakota State this week, erased a 7-0 deficit, and last night they were able to score 4 unanswered runs and make that game interesting at one point. So definitely still a game, only 3 runs, and definitely can't count the Sun Devils out yet.
So New Contreras trying to lead things off for ASU. Takes it for ball number 2, working ahead of the count, 2-1. Talked about Contreras reaching on base via a single. However, he was picked off. Outside, 3-1. Three-one pitch on its way to Contreras. He'll take it for ball number 4 as it hit the dirt. So he'll reach first base on a walk. And now here comes Keishel.
Good at bat for Contreras. Didn't try to do too much, didn't try and force the issue. Antone didn't throw him a strike, and nice job by the freshman to recognize and have good strike zone awareness. And once again, gets on board to lead off an inning. This time, can't get picked off, though. ASU's got to keep ducks on the pond if they want to try and claw their way back into this game.
Antone trying to keep him honest at first. Contreras was able to waltz back to the first base bag. So we're back to the top of the order with Keishel. First pitch on its way. Takes it just outside for ball number 1. 1-0 to begin the at-bat for the second baseman. The 1-0 pitch. Same spot, same location, same result. 2-0. And now there's going to be a mound visit between Garcia, Pacheco, and also Antone.
Well, Antone has thrown 6 pitches this inning. They've all been balls. He's yet to find the strike zone. So definitely a good opportunity for Garcia Pacheco to regroup with his pitcher, make sure they're on the same page, and ultimately calm his relief pitcher down and see if he can find the strike zone.
Hustling to the bullpen was Tanner Brooks, so we might see him get loose and come in relief in case Antone runs into some serious trouble. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. There's a strike, 2-1.
It just was able to find that outside corner.
The 2-1 pitch. Down below the knees, 3-1. Contradas is the runner at first, able to reach via a walk.
And for Antone, walks have been a bit of an issue this year. He's walked at least one batter in every game he's pitched in.
And speaking of which, there's back-to-back walks to open up the bottom half of the fifth. So Contradas and Keischel are able to reach first and second on the walk. And now here comes Wyatt Crenshaw.
And if you're UCI, this is not what you want to be doing with the 3-run lead, putting guys on board for free. ASU, once again with 2 runners on base to start an inning. This time, didn't have to do much to get in that position, just worked 2 walks. And now you got the heart of the order coming up in Crenshaw, Campos, and Long. So definitely a good time for the mound visit here. And I do know the Anteaters appear to have a righty warming up in the pen.
Yep, that is Michael Stanford. This might be an attempt to buy him some time to get loose and get warmed up.
We did see Stanford pitch last night. He's one of their high leverage relievers. And this becoming somewhat of a high leverage situation because Crenshaw once again represents the tying run at the plate.
Yep, so they're going to leave Antone in the game, but getting loose quickly is Michael Stanford. And like I said, I saw Tanner Brooks maneuver his way into the bullpen, so he might be an option for this Anteater team as well. So here's Wyatt Crenshaw, 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout of the afternoon so far. First pitch, and he hits it behind home plate. That's going to go over the broadcast roof. 0-1 to begin the at-bat to the Sun Devil left fielder. Crenshaw a little late on that one. 0-2 to him now. Antone sets. Here's the pitch. Crenshaw is able to foul it off and stay alive.
Yeah, Crenshaw fell behind 0-2 his last time up. He's had a tough time against these UCI pitchers.
The pitch. And Crenshaw is able to knock it into right field. And that's going to be a fair ball. Contreras rounds third, and he is going to score with ease. Trailing him is Keischel. And it is now 6-5.
Well, how about that for an announcer's jinx? Wyatt Crenshaw knocks his first base hit of the series, and no better time because now the Sun Devils are within 1.
And now here comes Ryan Campos. And here we go. We're going to get another mound visit. And we might see a pitching change occur this time around because I would presume that Michael Stanford is ready to go and ready to check into this game. And that's exactly what's going to happen. So we're going to see a pitching change, and we're going to step aside on ASU Livestream 1. We will see you momentarily. Don't go anywhere.
Cronkite News provides students at ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism with the opportunity to gain real-world experience in the newsroom. At Cronkite News, our students produce professional content for audiences by taking on all roles, whether they be reporting, anchoring, producing, or studio production. Each department gives students first-hand professional newsroom experience. For more information, visit cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication's Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Welcome back as Michael Stanford is warming up and getting his last few pitches in. So the score is 6-4. Wyatt Crenshaw was credited with a ground rule double, so Contreras was the one who was able to score for ASU, and Keyshaw will stand at third. So there's going to be ducks on the pond, runners at second and third for ASU, and still no batters out.
Yeah, and one thing we missed real quick, that was a ground rule double off the bat of Wyatt Crenshaw, which forced Keishel to stay at third. It appeared up here as if he came around to score, but that was a ground rule double. So 6-4, still a prime opportunity for ASU to tie this game. The go-ahead run at the plate in Ryan Campos. We know he's got power, but a very good pitcher in Michael Stanford on the mound. 7 scoreless innings of work this year, the 9 punch-outs. Similar move to what Willie Bloomquist just did with Brock Peary. On the other side, UCI going with one of their high-leverage arms, trying to preserve this UCI lead.
First pitch to Campos, and he's able to loft it into the infield, not deep, in foul territory. Can he find it? He's able to do so with a basket catch from Oyama.
Yeah,
sun is bright in Phoenix.
Yeah, it looks like Oyama was really struggling to find that ball and did so just at the last second, right as it drifted into fair territory. But yeah, not a great at-bat there from Ryan Campos to pop it up on the infield. It's the last thing you want to have happen.
On the first pitch, nonetheless. Now here's Ethan Long. One batter out, runners at second and third. And Long will take it for strike number 1, 0-1 to start the at-bat. Bottom half of the fifth inning here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium. Trey Matthews joined alongside Hayden Weber. Sam Volatini is doing the sideline. And just to clarify, the score is 6-4. Here's the pitch. That was high and not even close. 2-1 now.
Ethan Long definitely a good candidate to get the ball deep into the outfield. Obviously good speed at third and Keishel, so it doesn't have to be hit too deep to get that run home.
Long grounds it over to third. Toss over to first for 1, and ASU is able to get a run out of it. So Keishal came around and scored this time around, and now ASU once again has cut the lead to 1. It's 6-5, still in favor of the Anteaters. Runner at third for Arizona State. 2 batters out.
Yeah, you'll take that all day. Ethan Long with the productive out there, gets an RBI to his credit as well. But now you got Jacob Tobias, who has really been feeling it at the plate. Chance to tie this game up.
We saw what he did in his previous at-bat. He was able to get a triple that scored 2 runs. Not a speedy guy by any stretch of the imagination, but what happened was Spillane dove for the ball and missed it, and it rolled over to the warning track, and just hustling and chugging with ease was Tobias to third. Tobias gets a hold of that one once again. That's in shallow left field. Smith saying, I got it, and he does. So that's how the bottom half of the fifth inning will end for Arizona State. Not before they regain 2 runs. So now it is 6-5, still in favor of the Anteaters. We will see you in a moment.
Cronkite News provides students at ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism with the opportunity to gain real-world experience in the newsroom. At Cronkite News, our students produce professional content for audiences by taking on all roles, whether they be reporting, anchoring, producing, or studio production. Each department gives students first-hand professional newsroom experience. For more information, visit cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
As journalists at Cronkite News, we report on stories that matter to you by focusing on the local impact. We dig deeper and work tirelessly to keep you informed.
Live in Wickenburg.
Live in Los Angeles. In Cleveland. In Washington. In Louisville.
From Jerusalem. Live in Philadelphia. From around the world to right here in Phoenix.
At Cronkite News, we report the facts and stick to the truth.
Welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona for the start of the top half of the sixth inning. We have a pitching change for the Sun Devils. Now coming in is Owen Stevenson in relief for Brock Peary.
Yep, right-handed pitcher out of San Francisco, California. Transferred over from USF along with his teammate Luke Keeschel. High ERA and 7 innings of work. We've mostly seen him work in piggyback outings with Ross Dunn. Didn't pitch yesterday. But as a guy who's able to work deep, he can give you multiple innings, as evidenced by the 7 innings pitched out of the bullpen. So definitely a good stabilizer in the front end for Willie Bloomquist to go to.
So we're about to begin the top half of the sixth inning. Once again, ASU is trailing the Anteaters by a score of 6-5.
Yeah, and Stevenson's going to have to run the gauntlet here. He's got Bermudez, Kendall, and Martinez. All 3 swinging hot bats. So ASU, after scoring 2 runs, love to follow that up with a scoreless inning.
So here's Will Bermudez, the second baseman for the Anteaters. He'll take it for ball number 1 to begin the at-bat, 1-0 in the top half of the sixth. 1-0 pitch, inside, 2-0.
Similar to Curtis, Stevenson's going to feature that mid-90s fastball. Hit 94 on that last pitch.
That just missed. Looked good from up here, but that's why I'm not an umpire. 3-0. As you can hear, the Sun Devil faithful, they do not agree from the call from the umpire, who is A.J. Lastaglio.
Definitely not how you want to start the inning, a 4-pitch walk.
Now, we've been seeing a decent amount of those between the Anteaters and also the Sun Devils, which is giving up a little too many walks, I'm sure more than what each coaching staff would like.
That's the problem that Antone ran into. All the walks that he issued in the previous half inning did come around to score.
Kendall will take it for strike number 1. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Down below the knees, evens the count 1 apiece.
For ASU, their last time up scored 3 runs. UCI immediately answered with 3 of their own, so ASU responds with 2. Critical that you don't allow the Anteaters to answer.
Takes it for strike number 2. Looks like he painted the corner on that one, 1-2.
And conversely, if you're UCI, you want to demoralize the Sun Devil pitching staff and continue to pile on.
Bermudez is the runner at first, swing and a miss. So Kendall will go down striking out, and here comes Anthony Martinez, the first baseman for the Anteaters.
That is not a visual we've seen often. Kendall walking back to the dugout after swinging on strikes. And he was 3 for 3 today, already compiled 5 hits in this series. He also reached on an error as well yesterday.
To add on to that, These two teams will be back at it in less than 24 hours tomorrow. First pitch to Martinez. Knocks it foul behind home plate. 0-1 to begin his at-bat. Toss back over to first. Not in time. Trying to keep Bermudez in check is Stevenson. We haven't really seen Martinez swing much in this game. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out, and he has a walk and a hit by pitch to his credit.
Yeah, will sound like a broken record. Just great pitch selection.
Throw back over to first. Tad bit late.
Sometimes when you have power guys, their eyes light up and they're free swingers. They'll swing at everything, but not the case with this freshman.
Martinez takes it outside, 2-1. Lefty on righty matchup in the top half of the sixth. And Stevenson elects to come off the mound, regain control of his bearings. And it looks like there's a pitch clock violation, so it's going to be 3-1. And I don't think Bloomquist agrees with it, so he's going to come out and argue.
Yeah, he's having some words there with the third base umpire. That's Darren Hyman, who had home plate yesterday.
So right now, Bloomquist is just trying to make the case, saying Stevenson just called time. Like, how would that be a pitch clock violation? Don't want to get thrown out if you're the skipper. Changing some words with the home plate umpire, Listaglio. And Hyman coming in. He ran home plate umpire duties last night, probably telling Bloomquist to settle down. And you could hear some of the UC Irvine fans just expressing their frustration. And Bloomquist has been ejected.
Yeah, Willie is hot.
And here comes Jeffrey Macias to try to break up Bloomquist and try to send him back to the dugout. So ASU will be out without their skipper for the rest of the game as he got tossed for arguing the pitch clock violation.
Well, you know what's interesting, partner, is last night there was a blatant pitch clock violation by about 5 seconds that Darren Hyman missed. And it wasn't like a critical moment in the game or anything like that, but nonetheless, it happened. And maybe Bloomquist just arguing for fair treatment here. I thought that Stevenson stepped off.
And you hear the standing ovation here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium as Bloomquist will head back to the showers.
Well, sometimes when you get run, that fires up your team, and maybe Willie just trying to light a fire under his squad, trying to get a comeback win.
We'll see. Martinez now has a 3-1 count to work with, and he'll take it for strike number 2.
Not only does it fire up the players, it gets the fans going.
Yeah, you could definitely hear it's absolute bedlam here in Phoenix. So Bermudez is the runner at first, and now he's going to be the runner at second as Martinez is issued a walk. So runners at second and first, one batter out, and here comes Dub Gleed.
Gleed still looking for his first hit in this series. Has driven in a run today, had a sac fly in the third.
He sets. Here's the pitch from Stevenson inside for ball number 1. 1-0 to begin the at-bat. Check this swing. Did he go? No, he did not. 2-0. You can hear the uproar here in the ballpark. A lot of fans not liking the calls from the umpires. But A.J. Lostaglio says he doesn't need to appeal. Swung and hit to short. Toss over to second for one. Relay to first. They got him. 2 for the price of 1 for the Sun Devils of Arizona State, in the words of Ernie Harwell. We head to the bottom of the 6th. ASU was able to allow a few base runners, but it's not going to come back to bite them.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communications Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
And that's the way it is. Monday, September.
Newscasting has changed a lot since the time of Walter Cronkite. That's why here at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism, you can learn the studio production skills of today in real time. Whether you want to work audio, direct, technical direct, design graphics, or you can even run the floor. It's all part of the Television Production and Graphics Lab here at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism. We're going on in 3, 2,
Welcome back inside the ballpark, as Michael Stanford is still the pitcher for UC Irvine. ASU trying to mount a comeback once again. They're only trailing by a run.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, Willie Bloomquist was just run for arguing a pitch clock violation on Owen Stevenson. And it was the third base umpire, Darren Hyman, that ejected him from the game.
Yeah,
definitely an interesting development halfway through this one.
Originally, he was arguing with A.J. Lostaglio, who's the home plate umpire, and then Darren Hyman got into the mix, and then you saw Jeffrey Macias. He also was trying to separate Bloomquist and Hyman. And now here comes Luke Hill, the 6-hole hitter for Arizona State. First pitch on its way from Stanford, chopped over to third. Goes in and out of the glove of Oyama. Tossed back over to first, not in time. So ASU is able to reach base safely. First pitch swinging was Hill.
Yeah, there was a similar play last night where Oyama bobbled a ground ball and actually wound up throwing out Ethan Long at first base on what appeared to be a surefire error. But this time was not able to throw out Luke Hill. So he will be tagged with the E5.
Now here's Isaiah Jackson trying to get Hill home somehow. Oh, 0-1 pitch to Jackson. Swings and hits it over to second. Toss over to short for one. Relay to first. They got him. Easy come, easy go. ASU gets their first base runner of the inning. However, Jackson hits into the double play. So excellent teamwork by Bermudez, Gleed, and Martinez.
Yep, your textbook 4-6-3 double play. Beautiful turn there at second base. Nice throw by the shortstop, Gleed, onto first to get the speedy Jackson. So now it's up to Beheeler to make something happen with 2 outs.
The designated hitter for ASU, 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout. First pitch swung on and missed. Bottom half of the 6th inning here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium. Chopped foul, 0-2 to Beheeler now.
And Michael Stanford has been particularly difficult to go up against with 2 outs. Opposing batting average against just 125 with 2 out in an inning.
The 0-2 takes it inside, 1-2 to Beheeler now. Chops it foul, stays alive. Or I'm sorry, he takes it for a ball, 2-2.
And if you look closer at Stanford's stat line, it just is so impressive. 8 2/3 innings now this season, just 3 hits allowed, 9 punch outs, 1 extra base hit, a .37 whip. So difficult to get anything going against pitchers like that. That's why when you get a board via an error, it's so important to not ground into a double play, because that can be a momentum killer.
Beheeler able to keep himself alive on the previous pitch. Here comes the 2-2. Swung on a miss in the dirt. Beheeler attempted to run to first. However, the home plate umpire said that the catcher caught it, and Garcia Pacheco showed him the mitt. So that's how ASU is going to end the bottom half of the 6th inning. We head to the top half of the 7th. Score is still the same. It's 6-5 in favor of the Anteaters.
Cronkite News provides students at ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism with the opportunity to gain real-world experience in the newsroom. At Cronkite News, our students produce professional content for audiences by taking on all roles, whether they be reporting, anchoring, producing, or studio production. Each department gives students first-hand professional newsroom experience. For more information, visit cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication's Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Welcome back to the desert. It is 67 degrees here in Phoenix, Arizona. Beautiful landscape and beautiful scenery surrounding us here at the ballpark. As I could see why the MLB always chooses Phoenix, Arizona as one of its many spring training locations. Warm weather, and you can't really beat it anywhere else, other than Florida, but still. Nice weather, clear skies, not a single cloud in the sky. A beautiful matinee baseball matchup.
It's the weather that draws people out to the ballpark. Got a nice crowd on hand for this Saturday matchup.
And now here is Chase Call, the designated hitter, batting 6th for the Anteaters. Stevenson still out there for the Sun Devils in white. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and miss. Call had no chance on that one. Excellent location and good speed by Stevenson. Here comes the 1-2. Outside, reaches the other side of the batter's box, and also a little high. 2-2.
Yeah, Stevenson really reached back there. 95-mile-an-hour fastball, just a little bit too far outside.
The 2-2 pitch. Chopped foul, third base side. Two-two pitch on its way home. Rocketed into center field, directly at Jackson. Only moved a couple steps. 1 up, 1 down in the top half of the 7th for the Anteaters of UC Irvine.
You know, I wouldn't be terribly surprised if Stevenson just works the remainder of this game. He has touched 85 pitches. He hit 85 in his previous game against Mississippi State. Also pitched over 60 on opening day. Right now sitting at 25 pitches, so.
And here is Miles Smith. He has 2 hit by pitches and also a triple. Evens the count 1-1 on that previous pitch by Stevenson. The 1-1 pitch. Smith hits it directly over to Keishol. Toss over to first. And they're going to say that Tobias was on the bag. So there's the second out of the inning. Not a beautiful throw by Keishel, but luckily Tobias was able to bail him out.
Yeah, nice stretch and a good job by Tobias to keep the foot on the bag. That can be easier said than done, especially when you get a runner charging directly at you. But nonetheless, the first baseman saves the error.
Standing at the plate, Garcia Pacheco. He was responsible for over half of the runs scored by UCI. He has 4 RBIs this afternoon.
Yeah, but he's down quickly 0-2.
Looks like Stevenson is getting into the groove as we speak. Here comes the 0-2 pitch from Stevenson. High and inside, almost hit Garcia Pacheco. Now 1-2.
Yeah, that'll back you off the plate a little bit. 94, high and tight.
1-2 pitch. Hit into left field, so despite getting Garcia Pacheco down into an 0-2 count, he was able to stand his ground, and he's on base once again, this time with a 2-out single.
Yeah, this is a career day now for Garcia Pacheco. 4 for 4. Unbelievable.
Worth mentioning that coming into the game, Garcia Pacheco was only batting 182, and he only had 1 RBI. Hit over to short, tap over to second for the easy out. Excellent defense by Hill. First pitch swing was Spillane. So we head to the bottom half of the 7th inning. About to buy myself some peanuts and Cracker Jacks because it is stretch time here in Arizona. We will see you momentarily.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication's Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
And that's the way it is. Monday, September.
Newscasting has changed a lot since the time of Walter Cronkite. That's why here at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism, you can learn the studio production skills of today in real time. Whether you want to work audio, direct, technical direct, design graphics, or you can even run the floor. It's all part of the Television Production and Graphics Lab here at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism. We're going on in 3, 2...
Welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona. After doing a bit of a quick stretch, I just realized that there is a pitching change. Now on the mound for UC Irvine is Tanner Brooks. Now, I saw Tanner Brooks earlier this game make his way into the bullpen, so I suspected that we were going to see him at some point this afternoon, and now he is getting his first notch at it on the pitching mound in this matchup.
Yep, Tanner Brooks, right-handed pitcher out of Kingwood, Texas. Previously played at McLennan Community College. And for Brooks, this is his 5th appearance on the season. He's worked 3 1/3 innings, has yet to allow an earned run to cross. And very impressive, 8 strikeouts in just over 3 innings of work.
So UC Irvine might have the lead. However, ASU is definitely not out of it. They're only trailing by a run. It is 6-5 in the bottom half of the 7th.
Yep, ASU a bloop and a blast away from taking the lead. And New Contradas once again finds himself leading off an inning. And he's gotten aboard in both at bats.
So Contradas sets into the box. First pitch to him from Brooks. Inside. Takes it for ball number 1.
Wouldn't be terribly surprised if Contradas takes until he sees a strike. He's been thrown 5 consecutive balls.
Here comes a 1-0 pitch to Contradas, and he knocks it foul. Does that count as the broadcaster's jinx? Because you said like he'll take until he sees one kind of thing, and then next pitch he swung and hits a foul nonetheless.
I guess.
I don't believe in curses and jinxes. I was just messing with you. Here comes the 1-1 pitch Contradas gets a good jolt of it. Unfortunately, he hits it foul. That went into the Coors Light Devils deck once again.
Obviously, Contradas is looking for something up there. Very aggressive swinging on the last 2 pitches, but wasn't able to come away with the hit.
And Contradas hits it over to second base. Toss over to first, and they're going to say they got him. So Bermudez with an excellent play right there, off-balance throw, and he got Contradas by just like a step and a half.
Yeah, that's a beautiful play by the second baseman, ranging over to his right to make the off-balance cross-body throw over to first. Beautiful play.
So back to the top of the order, here's Luke Keischel. Brooks settles in. The pitch. Call the ball to begin the at-bat. 1-0. Keischel chops it foul near the Anteaters dugout. It's 1-1 now.
Despite walking his last time up, Keischel been held out of the hit column. Looking for his first base knock of the game.
Keischel chops it foul, third base side. It's going to go as a souvenir to a lucky fan.
Batting average has dipped a little bit as of late for Keischel, but still getting on base right around a 400 clip. It's exactly what you want from your leadoff man.
The 1-2 pitch gets jammed once again, third base side, foul. So ASU is down to their final 8 outs. However, they only trail by a run. The 1-2 pitch. He lofts it in the center, hit high, not deep. Spillane able to find it after battling with the sun a bit. We've seen that a lot happen throughout the course of this afternoon. But nonetheless, 2 up, 2 down to begin the bottom half of the 7th for ASU. And now here comes Wyatt Crenshaw, number 14 for ASU, manning left field.
Yeah, Crenshaw roped that RBI ground rule double his last time up.
First pitch to him. Call the ball just outside. The 1-0 count. Now we'll even 1 apiece.
You can tell just how intense the sun gets here.
I always hated playing afternoon games, quite honestly, because of that sun, and sometimes sunglasses don't really help all that much. It's definitely a battle, and it can be a hassle just to locate the ball, especially if it's hit high and deep, and it's just like you're just trying not to lose it. And even if there's like a tiny bit of clouds in the sky, the ball is white, so sometimes it could just blend right in. And playing in Michigan, I know we don't experience it here in Arizona, but sometimes it would snow, and that made it even worse.
Yeah, I can't even imagine that.
Not a fun experience. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and miss. So Crenshaw will head back to the dugout and sit after striking out, and that's how we end the bottom half of the 7th inning. So 1-2-3 inning for the Anteaters in the bottom half of the 7th once again, and they're up by a run. It's 6-5.
Cronkite News provides students at ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism with the opportunity to gain real-world experience in the newsroom. At Cronkite News, our students produce professional content for audiences by taking on all roles, whether they be reporting, anchoring, producing, or studio production. Each department gives students first-hand professional newsroom experience. For more information, visit cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication's Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Welcome to the top half of the 8th inning, playing the ASU fight song, trying to get the crowd into it. Trey Matthews joined alongside Hayden Weber. Sam Volatine is the sideline reporter. Yeah. ASU just trying to keep UC Irvine to 6, so that way they only trail by a run.
Yeah, and it's Owen Stevenson back on the hill for the Devils. He's going to feature that mid to upper 90s fastball, and so far so good. Hasn't allowed a run to cross. Trying to keep this Arizona State deficit to just the 1 run.
Now here's Joe Oyama, the leadoff hitter for UCI.
It's been a tough day for Oyama. He's 0 for 4 and committed an error,
which is a far cry from what he was able to do yesterday, because ASU had trouble getting him out. And he was also flashing the leather a couple times during the course of the game. Oyama sets, takes it high and outside for ball number 1, 1-2 to him now. The pitch swung on and miss. So to begin the top half of the 8th, we have a strikeout as Oyama takes the long stroll back to the dugout.
Yeah, 3rd strikeout for Oyama today.
There's a hat trick. Only in baseball, the hat trick is not a good thing. Now here comes Will Bermudez, 1 for 3 with a double. First pitch to him is called a ball. Looked good from up here, but nonetheless 1-0 to start out the at-bat for the second baseman for the Anteaters. 1-0 pitch. Now turns to 2-0. So Bermudez working ahead of the count.
Yep, Stevenson right around the strike zone, just not catching enough of it to get the calls.
The 2-0 pitch. There's a called strike that Stevenson wanted. It's now 2-1.
Obviously, you don't want to get frustrated and groove one right down the middle for Bermudez. He's been all over the bases this weekend.
Evens the count, 2-2. So working back from behind a 2-0 count to now even the count 2 apiece once again. The pitch, and it looked like that hit him, and he's going to take his base. So another hit batter for ASU. I believe that's their 3rd or their 4th one this afternoon. And now stepping up to the plate is Caden Kendall.
I believe that's the 5th hit batsman for the Sun Devils. That's just kind of goes back to the unforced errors, giving guys free bases.
I hope the Anteaters have ice in their dugout, because they're going to need it after this one. So Bermudez is the runner at first. Here's Kendall. Inside, and that almost hit him, and he didn't even flinch. It's 1-0 to begin his at-bat.
Yep, Stevenson was trying to go backdoor with the breaking ball and ran a little too far inside.
The 1-0 pitch, That one hit him. And it might have gotten the umpire a little bit too because he's doing a little bit of a jog. He was limping at first. So Bermudez and Kendall are the first base runners of the top half of the eighth for the Anteaters, and both of them have been hit by the pitch.
Yeah, Kendall was not happy about it either. Tossed his bat. And that was a fastball, too, that got him square in the rib cage.
Yeah, those one hurt.
And Stevenson really trying to find his command that has escaped him in this inning. And
So,
as a result, it looks like we're going to have some action in the ASU bullpen.
Yep, that is Nolan Lebimov, who is getting loose for ASU. So this mound visit might to buy some time for Lebimov to get loose and get ready.
And if you're Sam Peraza, if you can, ride with Stevenson for the rest of this inning, that would be ideal, and then maybe go Lebimov in the ninth. The last thing you want to do is burn another arm with still another game to go tomorrow.
Here's Martinez settling into the box. Hasn't really had the opportunity to make the most out of his at-bats because he is 0 for 1, but he has 2 walks and a hit by pitch.
He has been pitched very carefully today.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Check this swing. Did he go? No, he did not, says Darren Hyman.
I thought that was the right call. I thought he held up, but it was certainly close.
And I'm sure the umpires aren't really going to award ASU anything given what happened between Bloomquist. It's now 3-0 to the cleanup hitter for the Anteaters. The 3-0 pitch. Martinez will take it for ball number 4. So 4 straight pitches to Martinez. All 4 of them balls results in a walk. So now the bases are loaded once again for the Anteaters, and they have one batter out, excuse me. And now here's the force can be at any bag and also home plate.
Man, this is just frustrating for the Sun Devils because, yes, UCI has been patient. They haven't been swinging at pitches out of the strike zone, but haven't really made them earn it. Loaded the bases without a base hit.
And now that one is lofted over to Jackson and also Long. And Long will make the catch in shallow right. And they're going to hold him up at third. So excellent relay right there by ASU to prevent UCI from scoring on the possible sac fly.
Yeah, definitely not wanting to test the arm of Ethan Long out in right field. We talked about it at the beginning of this game. Long's pitched. He's played at third base, now in right field. That was borderline, fly ball. You could have sent him, but probably the safe call there for UCI.
Yeah, Bermudez thought about it at first, but he would have been gunned with ease given how far that ball went, which wasn't really that far at all. It was shallow right, like we said. So now ASU could get out of this jam unscathed as that ball is lofted into left, right center. And that one is gone. A grand salami for UCI in the words of Matt Vasgersian. So the bases are now cleared, but UCI just had a grand slam. Amazing right there. Have a day. And now they have opened the floodgates. It is 10-5.
Yep, that's a backbreaker, and it was preventable. Owen Stevenson just absolutely lost his command in this inning. 2 walks and a hit batter, and then serves up the grand slam right there. And another day, another 10-run game for an ASU opponent. And that's just the kind of stuff that frustrates Willie Bloomquist and that this program is trying to get away from, is these lopsided defeats and a bunch of runs and having to burn through the bullpen. This was what plagued this team last year, and it's definitely been an issue in this series and against Mississippi State.
So Chase Call got his 3rd homer, and it was a grand slam. So now Stevenson is still in the game. He just has one more out to get, but that has to sting if you're ASU, and he rings him up right there. So he gets his vengeance, but not before surrendering 4 runs off of the grand slam. So we're going to head to the bottom half of the 8th. ASU is down to their final 6 outs, and they got some work to do. It is 10-5.
Cronkite News provides students at ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism with the opportunity to gain real-world experience in the newsroom. At Cronkite News, our students produce professional content for audiences by taking on all roles, whether they be reporting, anchoring, producing, or studio production. Each department gives students first-hand professional newsroom experience. For more information, visit cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
As journalists at Cronkite News, we report on stories that matter to you by focusing on the local impact. We dig deeper and work tirelessly to keep you informed.
Live in Wickenburg.
Live in Los Angeles. In Cleveland. In Washington. In Louisville.
From Jerusalem. Live in Philadelphia. From around the world to right here in Phoenix.
At Cronkite News, we report the facts and stick to the truth.
Welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona, here in Phoenix Muni Stadium, as Tanner Brooks is still on the mound for the Anteaters, and ASU, they got to scratch and claw their way back into the game because they allowed for Chase Call to get a grand slam in the last half of the inning. It is now 10-5, so what was once a one-run differential has now turned into 5.
Yeah, and it's just a gut punch. No other way to put it. You load up the bases. UCI didn't even have a single base hit, 2 walks and a hit by pitch, and then the only hit in that inning was the Chase Call home run, and UCI was able to blow this game open. Still a chance for ASU with 6 outs left, but definitely going to be an uphill battle.
Absolutely, and now up to the plate is Ryan Campos, the catcher for Arizona State. The 1-0 pitch. Campos is able to get a good jolt of that one. That is in deep right center. And at the warning track was the center fielder Spillane, and he makes the catch.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of long-ranging fly balls off the bats of Sun Devils today. Just die out there in front of the wall in center field. It seems like so many times Spillane has had to get to the warning track and track down those fly balls. And ball's definitely flying, evidenced by that Chase Call home run. ASU just missing them, though.
Ethan Long now up to the plate. 0-1 to begin the at-bat. The pitch. Hits the dirt, snagged up by the catcher Garcia Pacheco. Long is 1 for 3, fielder's choice, strikeout swinging, and a ground out. The pitch, called a strike. It's now 1-2.
Yeah, that was an absolutely nasty breaking ball, just catching the lower inner part of the strike zone. Definitely not a pitch Long wants to swing at.
He'll swing at that one as it's lofted into center field, not deep. Having to move a couple steps to his right is Spillane once again. And 2 up, 2 down in the bottom half of the Sun Devils' 8th. And now here comes Jacob Tobias, looking to get a 2-out rally started. Infielders shift a little bit. Gleed is now essentially playing second base, and that one is a foul ball. Tobias was trying to go the opposite way of the shift. As I was saying, Gleed is now essentially playing second base. Bermudez is in short right.
You know what I learned from that swing partner? Darren Hyman's got hops over at third base.
He's also got a little bit of haters because people are heckling him right now because they felt like it should be a fair ball.
Certainly close.
It was close.
He's right there to make the call.
Hey, that's why we're not umpires. 0-2 to Tobias now. Here comes the pitch. In the dirt, and that'll go to the backstop. 1-2 now.
So tough for ASU when the offense has seemingly done everything right. Just to have the pitching kind of fall apart at the worst time makes it really tough to stay in these ball games.
1-2. Swung and chase. Toss over to first, and they got him. So Tobias is unable to reach on the drop third strike, and we head to the top half of the ninth inning. ASU trying to make sure UC Irvine does not score anymore. It's 10-5.
Cronkite News provides students at ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism with the opportunity to gain real-world experience in the newsroom. At Cronkite News, our students produce professional content for audiences by taking on all roles, whether they be reporting, anchoring, producing, or studio production. Each department gives students first-hand professional newsroom experience. For more information, visit cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
As journalists at Cronkite News, we report on stories that matter to you by focusing on the local impact. We dig deeper and work tirelessly to keep you informed.
Live in Wickerburg.
Live in Los Angeles. In Cleveland. In Washington. In Louisville.
From Jerusalem. Live in Philadelphia. From around the world to right here in Phoenix.
At Cronkite News, we report the facts and stick to the truth.
Welcome back to Phoenix Municipal Stadium for the top half of the ninth inning. Now into pitch is Nolan Lebemoff.
Yep, Lebemoff, right-handed pitcher. Out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, transfer from Valparaiso. And for Lebemoff, he last pitched on Wednesday against North Dakota State. Or two-thirds scoreless in that one. And right now the ERA a little bit bloated, up over 10, but again, it's really early in the season. It's tough to judge these pitchers off of ERA. You kind of have to look beyond that a little bit, and for Lebemoff, the issue, at least in his first outing against San Diego State, was the walks. He walked 2 in a third of an inning. So if he can limit the walks, which he's done in each of his last 3 outings, could be on his way to a clean 9th.
And now stepping up to the plate is Abraham Garcia Pacheco. He's having a career day. He is definitely my MVP if this game concludes and UC Irvine holds on to win, because he is able to rack up 4 singles and he has gotten a lot of RBIs. Lebemoff out of the pen, begins the at-bat 2-0. High and outside once again. Garcia Pacheco taking his time.
Yep, this is his first career 4-hit game.
Called the strike, 3-1. Outside, that's going to be ball 4. So Garcia Pacheco has reached base on all of his at-bats. Prior singles, and now this time a walk. Now here comes Luke Spillane.
Yep, Sun Devils have had no answer for Garcia Pacheco whatsoever. And he has gone to the plate with a purpose.
And there's the bunt, and it's going to ricochet foul.
I think Spillane has shown bunt at least once in every at-bat.
Yep, and it has to get to a point where it's kind of predictable, wouldn't you say? I know he's fast, and I know he wants to showcase his speed, but I don't know if this is a bunting situation. Swung on a miss, 0-2, especially when you're up by 5 runs.
Yeah, not sure what he's trying to do. Just give the infield defense a different look. Not exactly sure, but will not be bunting down 0-2.
Inside, 1-2. Well, technically he could, but if he knocks it foul, he'll be a strikeout. But yeah, it wouldn't be the smart decision. The next 1-2. Gets underneath it, hit in the infield. Camping underneath it is Tobias, and he's able to make the catch. So there's the first out in the top half of the 9th inning. Garcia Pacheco is the runner at first. Now we're back to the top of the order. Here comes Joe Oyama. Oyama showing bunt. Takes it outside for ball number 1, 1-0 to begin the at-bat.
And now that we're in the 9th inning, ASU has not retired UCI in order at any point in this game.
Evens the count, 1 apiece.
So unless Oyama grounds into a double play, ASU will not have faced the minimum in an inning at any point today.
Oyama takes it high and outside. Runner at first once again is Garcia Pacheco. Outside, missed badly, 3-1 to the Japanese native.
Oyama's been particularly good with runners on base, batting well over 300 with runners on.
And now he'll reach first base on a walk. So runners at first and second, only 1 batter out. And here comes Will Bermudez, lefty on righty matchup pending.
Yeah, once again, just walks, playing a major role here in the 9th inning, and UCI once again threatening.
The pitch to Bermudez, knocks it foul, hits the safety netting here at the ballpark.
By my count, I believe 15 Anteaters have reached base without a base hit.
See,
way too many.
No, that can't happen because you're doing the same mistake that you did yesterday.
And it's something Willie Bloomquist talked about in the press conference yesterday. Just, he feels like the last 4 games, his team has been beating itself, and the indication is they're doing so once again today. Can't expect to beat really solid teams like UCI and beat yourself. You just can't do it.
Lebomov sets, and Bermudez knocks it foul.
And another thing he said was, when you don't do the fundamentals right, it gets exposed. And I think that's exactly what's happened in each of these last 2 games. Just some fundamental lapses in various aspects of the game, whether it be situational hitting, pitching, fielding, getting picked off at first base. It's sloppy baseball.
The 2-2 pitch, he gets rung up. So 2 batters down in the top half for the Anteaters. And now here comes Caden Kendall.
At the very least, the one thing you cannot question about this Sun Devil team is the heart. I mean, they've they've faced deficits and they've clawed their way back. Pitchers have gotten in tough situations and been able to limit damage. Evidenced by Lebimov here. He walks 2 guys and bounces back with a strikeout. So
back-to-back strikeouts too.
I mean, yeah, you can work on the fundamentals, and the want and the desire to win is certainly there. And that's much more difficult to teach because the fundamentals you can fine-tune and will be as time goes on.
So Lebimov gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Carried foul out of play. One-two pitch on its way. Chopped up the middle. Fielded by Kishel. And toss over to second for the easy out. Hill was able to grab it down. So we head to the bottom of the 9th. Last chance for ASU to either tie or take the lead. We're going to step aside, and we will see you momentarily.
Cronkite News provides students at ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism with the opportunity to gain real-world experience in the newsroom. At Cronkite News, our students produce professional content for audiences by taking on all roles, whether they be reporting, anchoring, producing, or studio production. Each department gives students first-hand professional newsroom experience. For more information, visit cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication's Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Welcome back to the bottom half of the 9th inning. New pitcher is Jacob King for the Anteaters. And before we get the 9th inning rolling, our sideline reporter Sam has something for us. What you got for me, Sam?
Yeah, Trey, ASU has been fantastic so far this season here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium. The Devils are 5-1 at home, with their only loss coming last night to the same Anteaters that currently have a 10-5 lead. Arizona State is in serious danger of losing back-to-back home games for the first time this season. We'll have to see if these Devils have some magic in them to rally. Back to you guys in the booth.
Well, we've seen crazier things happen, and get your rally hats out. In that case, it's when you take your hat and you put it inside out, because ASU is going to need 5 runs to tie, and they're going to need 6 runs to win.
Yeah, it's going to take one heck of a rally, and you take a look at the part of the order coming up. Luke Hill, Isaiah Jackson, Reese Beheeler. That part of the lineup certainly capable of getting on base. Luke Hill has been an on-base machine lately. He's been aboard 2 times today. And then Isaiah Jackson had the sac fly earlier. We'll see if they keep Beheeler in. But, ASU just got to get something going, at least create a little bit of momentum going into tomorrow's game, because even if you come up short today, you cannot get swept at home this early in the season.
Nope, and here comes shortstop Hill.
Or really at any point, might I add. You never want to get swept, regardless of if you're home or away, but
no, you always want to try to muster up at least one victory. Here comes the first pitch out of the pen for King, and Hill will take it for ball number 1, 1-0 to start the at-bat.
Jacob King out of Galt, California. He's a redshirt junior. This is his 5th appearance on the season. He's worked 4 2/3 innings. 10 punch-outs.
Pitch high and outside for ball number 2, 2-0.
And all the while, just 1 walk and 1 hit allowed. This is a very deep UCI bullpen.
There's the first strike that King wanted. It's now 2-1 to Hill. Two-one pitch. Hill checks his swing. Looks like he did hold up. It's now 3-1.
King having trouble getting that fastball in the zone to start his outing.
Three-one pitch. Called strike number 2. That fills the count, 3-2.
I thought that was low, but home plate umpire disagrees, and Luke Hill's going to have to do battle in a full count.
You can hear the disagreement between the umpires and the ASU faithful. The pitch, that one's in the dirt. And I'm hearing one of the spectators saying, well, hey, maybe that's a strike. Well, that one was clear as day at ball. So nonetheless, Hill will take first base on the leadoff walk. And now here comes Jackson, center fielder.
Yeah, definitely ASU has had some tough calls go against them. That time, though, Hill was able to stay composed at the plate and have a nice patient at bat and work a leadoff walk.
First pitch to Jackson, called a strike, 0-1. A 1 pitch, Jackson rips at it, and it goes foul. Oh, 2 to the center field for ASU. The pitch to Jackson, chops at it, foul.
And if you take away the 3 of the runs off the grand slam that were allowed by walks and hit by pitch, you're at least looking at a 7-5 game, where Jackson would be the tying run at the plate. Just goes to show how much that grand slam, how much that hurt the Sun Devils.
And Jackson got hit by the pitch. So now Hill reached first base. So the first 2 batters are at second and first. No batters out. And now here comes Reese Beheeler.
A lot of hit batsmen in this game. Jacob King not trying to do anything there, though, with 2 strikes. Chance to put away a dangerous hitter in Isaiah Jackson. Well, ASU's got something working. Definitely a chance to cut into this deficit.
And Garcia Pacheco right now having a mound visit with his pitcher King. Just trying to settle Jacob King down just a little bit more.
And looks like Beheeler making a walk back to the dugout. Not sure if he's being pinch hit for, and it appears that might be Kian Vu coming out of the dugout.
It is. We saw Vu pitch hit last night as well, and he was actually able to hold up his end of the bargain pretty well. So I like this move. I believe the first at-bat we saw from Vu last night's game, he was able to get a walk. So you know Vu is able to get on base.
Yeah, like Beheeler, Vu is one of the better bats that the Sun Devils have to go to off the bench. See if he can cash in here.
First pitch to Vu, outside for ball number 1, 1-0. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Vu will take it inside. Hill thought about it, but he'll boogie on back to second. Two 2-0 to the pitch hitter, Vu.
Both hits that Vu has recorded have been in pinch hit appearances. He's also scored in both of those appearances.
The 2-0, there's the strike that King wanted. It's now 2-1.
That was a nice fastball there, right at the bottom of the strike zone at the knees.
The 2-1 pitch to Vu. Inside. Looked good from up here, but nonetheless, King is now behind in the count. It's 3-1.
That one was definitely a little too far inside. Let's see if Vu can get his pitch and have a good rip here. Ahead 3-1 in the count.
The pitch to Vu. He'll take it for ball number 4. That's going to load the bases. And we have one more batter before we go back to the top of the order.
Yeah, and it's new Contradas, who's had a pretty good day at the plate. Singled, walked, came around to score. Contrada's a pretty good contact hitter, so we'll likely see something put in play. But not before we're going to get a mound visit.
Doesn't look like anybody is getting loose in the bullpen for UC Irvine, so this is just going to be a standard mound visit to try to settle down his pitcher. Jacob King still has not recorded an out, so he's given up 2 walks and 1 hit batter.
Well, this is exactly what ASU did in the 8th inning when Call hit the grand slam. So a chance for ASU to essentially negate that if they can get these runs to score.
We'll see what happens. I believe in miracles. So Contradas will step up to the plate.
And this wouldn't even, if ASU comes back to tie and possibly take the lead, don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. This wouldn't even be the biggest comeback of the week.
So new Contradas steps up to the plate. First pitch on its way. Contradas will take it for strike number 1. 0-1 to start the at-bat to the third baseman for Arizona State. Contradas sets back into the box. Here's his 0-1 pitch. Way out in front. Looked silly up there, 0-2.
Yep, took something off. Contradas was sitting fastball. Didn't get cheated, took a big rip at it, but came up empty.
Contradas, worst possible outcome, hit to third, over to second for 1, relay to first. They want a runner interference, but they're not going to get it. Run will score for ASU. And now there's runners at the corners, and now we're back to the top of the order.
Yeah, so that'll be an RBI for new Contradas on the fielder's choice. Not the worst outcome that could have happened, but
yeah,
at least the top of the order comes up with a run home and still a good situation with runners at the corners.
So ASU is able to get 1 run back. They're still trailing by 4. And now here comes Keisholt, the leadoff hitter, second baseman for ASU. First pitch to him, inside for ball 1, 1-0.
Tying run in the on-deck circle. ASU making the Anteaters sweat here in the 9th.
The 1-0 pitch. I don't think that was intentional. Checked his swing, and he knocked it foul. 1-1.
Well, if Keisholt can catch up to a fastball and find a gap, very likely would score 2, and I'm sure we could see Keisholt maybe head for third. Great speed.
Here comes a 1-1 pitch. This time he was able to hold up, and it's going to result in a ball, 2-1. Looks like King is demanding for a new ball.
At the very least, Jacob King has really had to work in this appearance. Over 20 pitches, still only 1 out in the inning. It's 1 extra pitcher the Sun Devils burn for tomorrow.
Here comes a 2-1 pitch. Almost hit Keishel, able to wiggle out the way. It's 3-1.
Still not sure if King is going to give him something too good to hit, but you don't want to load up the bases for Wyatt Crenshaw, the lefty. No one getting loose in the bullpen.
No. Here comes a 3-1 pitch. Called a strike, fills the count, 3-2. Now, do you send Contradas in this circumstance?
You could. Possibly if you want to force the issue, get an extra runner in motion if you're certain Keishel's going to put the ball in play.
Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Keishel is able to stay alive as he maneuvers the ball foul.
Well, if Keishel is able to get aboard, you'd have the tying run coming up, and Wyatt Crenshaw, who has the power to hit 1 out.
Jackson at third, Contradas at first. And that's going to load the bases once again. Keishel takes it high and inside for ball number 4. And now here comes Wyatt Crenshaw. Like you said, bases loaded situation, lefty on righty matchup.
And now it looks like the Anteaters are going to get someone up in the pen. But still, King is going to have to work to Crenshaw.
Yep, that's Max Martin in the bullpen getting loose for UC Irvine. So now the game-tying run is up at the box, and that is Wyatt Crenshaw. First pitch to him. Hits it on the ground, foul.
We'll see the UCI right fielder shaded towards that line. We've seen a lot of Crenshaw hits right towards that foul line in right field.
The 0-1 pitch inside, 1-1.
Did a nice job to hold up. You could tell he wanted to swing at that pitch. Again, he's trying to get out in front of something. Hit it to the pull side. Was able to check his swing.
Campos, Long, and Tobias are due up after Crenshaw. Crenshaw will take that outside, 2-1.
Very impressed with the patient at bats the Sun Devils are taking, getting in good hitter-friendly counts. Still, miraculously, no base hits in this inning.
By any means necessary, just get your runners on. Here comes the pitch, outside, 3-1. I'd say one more run given up, and I think they're going to go to their bullpen and pull in Max Martin.
Tell you what, this crowd at Phoenix Muni is ready to explode. They've been sitting on their hands. See if Wyatt Crenshaw can deliver.
Brooks sets. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Hit foul. That'll fill the count, 3-2.
That's a big cut there at a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Just missed it, though. Let's see what King goes with on the payoff.
If you're Crenshaw, you got to be patient. See the previous batters in front of you reach base via a walk and won by a hit by pitch. That was Jackson. Here comes the pitch. Inside in the dirt. ASU will get another run, and Crenshaw will get an RBI. He'll take his bag on the bases-loaded walk.
Tell you what, Trey, the sun has not yet set on the Sun Devils. still in this game, still scrapping and clawing, trying to tie this thing up by any means necessary, trying to even up this series at 1 game apiece, and we talked about it. The will and the desire to win is certainly there with this team. So much heart, and that's very encouraging.
Now the game-winning run is Campos. He is due up, and the game-tying run is Crenshaw. He's standing at first. Another mound visit, and we're going for another pitching change. So we're going to see you momentarily. And once again, ASU in a prime position to mount a huge comeback.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication's Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
And that's the way it is. Monday, September.
Newscasting has changed a lot since the time of Walter Cronkite. That's why here at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism, you can learn the studio production skills of today in real time. Whether you want to work audio, direct, technical direct, design graphics, or you can even run the floor. It's all part of the Television Production and Graphics Lab here at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism. We're going on in 3, 2,
Welcome back to the bottom half of the ninth, where ASU has some magic in them. Bases loaded, and they're only down by 3 now. So the game-tying run is Crenshaw. He's standing at first after the walk, and the game-winning run is Campos. He is due up, and they are going to face Max Martin, the right-handed freshman.
Yep, freshman out of Northridge, California. This is going to be his 5th appearance on the season. Last pitch yesterday, worked 1 inning of scoreless baseball, and he punched out 3 batters in that game. So definitely a good vote of confidence for Martin to get the call in the biggest situation in the game, trying to nail down the save and secure the win for UCI. Conversely, ASU, like you said, trying to pull some magic out of its cap.
The We Believe Devils. I'd buy it. So the catcher for ASU, Campos, is due up like I just said moments ago. And ASU might be down, but they're not out. And they still got 2 outs to work with. Just avoid the double play situation. Campos is 1 for 3. He has a walk, a single, and a pop out.
Yeah, but this is exactly who you want up right here. It's your 3-hole hitter. It's the veteran catcher. One of the leaders on this team in the clubhouse. Homered in the game yesterday. We know he's got power. At the very least, needs to put one into the outfield. See what happens.
First pitch to Campos. He'll take it below the knees for ball number 1. 1-0 to begin the at-bat.
Or, of course, continue to be patient. UCI hasn't been throwing strikes, and ASU's been patient.
Yeah, make him force you to throw one. The 1-0 pitch. Campos will take it for strike number 1. That evens the count 1 apiece. Right now talking to Lastaglio, the home plate umpire, saying, really?
Yeah, it was definitely a borderline pitch. A pitcher's pitch. It's a good take by Ryan Campos.
Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. 1-2 to him now.
Just a little too far out in front there.
Got to be patient, and like I said, avoid the double play situation. The 1-2 pitch outside. That'll even the count once again, 2-2.
Plenty of speed on the bases. Ball in the gap could tie it.
Contradas at third, Keishel at second, Crenshaw at first. Staying alive and getting some good momentum on that baseball, but knocks it foul, third base side. Martin trying to close the door on ASU. He sets. Here's the 2-2. Rung him up. So now ASU is down to their last out. And Campos did not agree with the call. He thought that was outside.
Again, it was borderline pitch. One you probably want to swing at. Just foul it off. Try and stay alive. A little too close to take. Campos didn't like the call. Big strikeout for UCI nonetheless, and Ethan Long, last chance for the Devils.
So the right fielder for ASU steps up to the box. First pitch to him is inside and low. Ball number 1.
Long has been the author of many magical moments here at Arizona State. See if he's got another one up his sleeve.
Here's a 1-0 pitch to Long. He'll take that for strike number 1. Evens the count, 1 apiece. Long sets back into the box. Martin gets the sign from Garcia Pacheco. Here's the pitch. Long able to hit it between the hole. That's going to score. Contradas rounding third and heading home. Here's Keishel. And ASU gets 2 back. It's now 10-9. Runners at first and second.
Great at bat by Ethan Long. Just shoots it the other way. Wide open hole on the right side of the infield. Takes advantage of it. And most important, keeps this game going. Keeps the Sun Devils alive. Now within 1 and the tying run at scoring position.
And now here comes Jacob Tobias. All I'm going to say is simply this. He has a triple 2 RBI right now. That's all I'm going to say. So he's up to the box. First pitch to him. Called the ball, 1-0.
Now something of note, UCI does have a base open to work with. Luke Hill standing on deck. Let's see if they do in fact pitch to Tobias or they give him a workaround. We'll see.
Here comes the pitch. Tobias will take it down and low and way outside, 2-0.
Tobias has got to be patient here. Don't swing at anything unless it's your pitch. In fact, you might even take till you get a strike.
Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Swung on and hit to second, and he bobbled it. Throw over to first, able to redeem himself, and there's the third and final out. Unfortunately, Tobias hit it into the shift, and that's going to do it for ASU. So ASU has dropped the first 2 games of this 3-game set. It was definitely a great effort, but unfortunately they fell short.
Yep, definitely a hard-fought battle. This game, the Sun Devils were able to come back within 1, ultimately negating that grand slam hit in the 8th, but at the end of the day, the Sun Devils allowed 10 runs, 1 of those unearned, which ultimately proved to be the difference.
And the backbreaker was definitely that grand slam that was hit by call. So ASU, once again, they had it right there, but unfortunately they were not able to finish. So our next baseball live stream will be tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time, or 12:30 p.m. Mountain time, excuse me, as it's going to be the third and final game set between UC Irvine and also ASU. So for everyone, for the stream team, production crew, and staff, and for Hayden Weber and also Sam Valenti, I am Trey Matthews signing off from Tempe.